everybody did a great job.
That's Trump on Fox and Friends just last hour. He added that the FBI went through thousands of tips.
Essentially, somebody that was very close to him turned him in. And that happens when you had some of those good shots. Somebody is going to say, whether it's a parent or whatever, I'd rather not say right now. They're going to announce it today, sometime later, probably talk about that.
Charlie Kirk was shot and killed Wednesday while speaking at a college event in Utah. His body brought back to Arizona yesterday on Air Force Two, along with Vice President J.D. Vance. Governor Mike Braun says prayers should be offered to Kirk's family and loved ones in this time.
You should be thinking about one thing. A life was lost. 2 kids don't have a father. And a young lady has lost her husband. And hopefully that would resonate regardless of where you're coming from politically. And sadly, it doesn't seem to.
The governor was on with WIBC's Hammer and Nigel Thursday. Indiana State Police are opening an investigation into Johnson County Coroner Mike Pruitt over text messages with a 17-year-old high school student. Sheriff Dwayne Burgess requested the review after he served Pruitt with a protective order last month. According to court documents, Pruitt bought alcohol for a young girl and a friend in March, recorded a phone call while the teen was intoxicated, and later sent her the recording. On June 16th, records show Pruitt also offered the teen cannabis gummies and later sent tips on how to use them. The statewide average for gas today, $3.20 per gallon, according to Gas Buddy. That's the average here in Indianapolis. The cheapest gas in the state is in Evansville at $3.09. And it will be the Atlanta Dream for the Indiana Fever. The two will go at it in the first round of the WNBA playoffs on Sunday. Lexi Hull says she's glad the Fever roster has stayed the same for over a week, given all the injuries they've had this season.
We've been through so much this season. To have a roster that we know is going to be our roster going into a game is exciting. You know, everyone's bought in, everyone's vying for each other. So I think we're heading into this very strong and connected, and that's all we can ask.
Game 1 is Sunday at 3 o'clock Eastern Time. Traffic on the 5s. Good morning, Matt Bear.
Hey, Jared, looking at Hancock County, it's westbound 70 that's completely shut down about 2 miles before State Road 9. This is on the approach to State Road 9, and as you can imagine, this is a hell of a delay right now, about 3.5 to 4 miles. This makes US 40 the ideal reroute, so if you're approaching Knightstown right now in westbound 70 exit, and State Road 109 travels south into Knightstown, and then you can pick up US 40 from there. But again, westbound 70 closed a couple miles before State Road 9 because of a crash. Another serious crash. This one is on the north side of Indy. It's Ditch Road at 91st, reported as a head-on collision with possible entrapment. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies with nationwide LTE coverage. For a limited time, get 60% off and free UPS shipping at rapidradios.com. Use code RADIO for an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Some things can steal your sunshine.
Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
People think slavery ended long ago, but what if I told you it's worse than ever? Human trafficking is an epidemic, stealing lives in plain sight. Into the darkness, God raised up Project Rescue, bringing light, healing, and hope. Every year, Life Church partners with the Lucas family to host the Hope Starts Here breakfast for business partners with the gift of giving who want to make a difference. Join us Thursday, September 18th at Lucas Estates and see what happens when Hoosiers stand united against evil. Learn more at lifechurchin.com.
This hour is powered by Miss M's Home and Garden, Johnson County's Fall Nursery headquarters.
The forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Sunny skies, quiet conditions, warm this afternoon. Today's high 86. Mostly clear, no problems overnight. Fairly comfortable, low of 61. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Marcus Bailey, 93 WIBC.
And I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level on the go and at WIBC.com. It's time for Kendall and Casey.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
Okay, we were going to start with the governor on Hammer and Nigel yesterday because I think what he said about Jennifer Ruth Green's resignation was fascinating. But the big news that broke about an hour ago as the president went on Fox News, Donald Trump, president of the United States, and said that they have captured the person that they believe was involved in the assassination of Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, he did say that there was a high degree of certainty that the suspect, and not only, they said that they got him.
Can I always say, I think, just to protect us all, and so Fox doesn't get sued, and we all don't get sued, and everything else. But I think with a high degree of certainty, we have him in custody, right? In custody. Everyone did a great job. We worked with the local police, the governor. Everybody did a great job. You know, getting somebody that you start off with absolutely nothing. And we started off with a clip that made him look like an ant that was almost useless. We just saw there was somebody up there. And so much work has been done over the last 2.5 days. You know, it's amazing, actually, when you start off with that and then all of a sudden you get lucky or talent or whatever it is. But, yeah, I think we're in great shape.
Mr.
And
President.
he's in custody.
Okay, so there's obviously nothing funny about this, but I've said this before. I find it, again, humor's not the right word, but I just find for something like today. But Trump's describing of the obvious in detail as though you didn't know it. He's going to tell you something that the whole world saw. He was small like an ant, and then amazingly we got him. You know, like you won't even believe how small he was in that first video. And like, yes, Mr. President, we're aware, but obviously it goes to the idea. My wife and I were talking about this last night. How somebody in the modern era who is photographed could hide, even for a day or two, which this guy was able to do,
right,
is really beyond me. It's an amazing thing. And now there's all these rumors out about how the guy got caught or captured or whatever. Hopefully we'll find that out. And when the press conference happens, the FBI is supposed to be doing an update. We will go to that for you. But it was amazing to me that even for a couple days they didn't know who this person was, or at least publicly it never came out who this person was.
Well, last night they were releasing new images and video showing a suspect on the rooftop at the time of the shooting, but they had not had a name to go along with it. Maybe that's what they will announce today as we are awaiting the FBI update. And it's being reported that it was a minister who knew the suspect and had informed authorities. And some people are reporting that the assassin's own father helped turn him in.
Yeah, so hopefully we'll find some of that. Obviously, last night the FBI came out, gave sort of a detailed, with the video, which Trump was alluding to, of the guy on the roof and how he got down, and that was all seemingly captured, and then heads into the woods, etc. And again, but they didn't offer any sort of, now, Kev, are you able to check in a queue, because it looks like they're getting ready to go here with this, and just let us know whenever they are. People are just, so what we're trying to describe is we're watching the Fox News feed. We will go to it once somebody takes the podium. But you know, with these press conferences, they have like 93 people who will check up at various times. Syllabus. You know, it's like the old Tom Hanks Saturday Night Live. Syllabus, check. Yeah. Hello. 3 minutes. And then, you know, somebody else will walk back up there. 2 minutes. So as these people are approaching the stage, we will keep you up to date once the actual person who can speak with some authority begins to talk.
So there was a researcher at the University of Maryland who put out a report. His name is Mike Jensen. He said that there have been 150 politically motivated attacks in the United States just in the first 6 months of this year, and that's nearly double the number from the same period last year. So just in the past 14 months.
Somebody posted this earlier that I saw, and I thought it was right. They were talking about, this person follows the media industry very closely. They're a part of the media industry. And they were pointing out how if you track, I guess you can track the most downloaded podcasts, and this person said overwhelming now, Charlie Kirk, of course, is number one. But they said that if you look at the downstream of that, it's all now conservative based podcasts that have just exploded in terms of the downloads over the last couple of days. And this person said, look, this happens every single time somebody enacts violence in the name of trying to squelch someone or some group or whatever. It almost always backfires. And it has, once again, in the sense of the amount of people who are, hey, I'm fed up with this. I'm getting involved for the first time, and obviously then people's listening habits, et cetera, in the immediate aftermath have gone to the exact thing this person apparently or probably was trying to stop. It never works. The violence stuff just doesn't work.
Yeah, Laura Wilson, who is an associate professor of political science at the University of Indianapolis, said it makes everyone feel like they're a target right now, and disagreement is increasing because people are lacking the ability to agree to disagree and leave it at that.
But so that's an interesting statement because I don't think people are. I think there's a group of lunatics in this world. I think by and large, at these Charlie Kirk, how many events did he have in there? Fine, right? How many events had uber liberal people there and everything was fine? I don't think people are, but I do think, to go back to what you said yesterday, which I thought was very astute about what you, and I want you to say it again, what you said about social media, because we talked about how social media, in your mind, it's not about clicks and fame anymore. It's about
finding your community.
Yeah.
Shared interests, people that are into the same thing. Because especially since COVID, we've seen the third space is disappearing for so many people. So people are going towards social media as that third space to find their community, their crowd, their group.
Yeah, and I thought that was spot on, and that really stayed with me throughout the rest of the day yesterday, that for people, whoever this lunatic was, Twitter, TikTok, to some extent Facebook, a lot of these social media platforms, you're finding like-minded people who share your extremist ideology. Now, maybe they aren't extreme enough to go forward with what this person did, but it gives you some level of comfort, reassurance, affirmation in the radicalization of your views to the point where it will drive people with the screw loose who are capable of going over the top
to act.
Yeah, I mean, look, because there's a lot of people who share extremist ideology, but it's almost like a dictator. And this is always said, like Kim Jong-un is never going to fire a nuclear weapon because he wants to live. Same way Saddam Hussein would have never fired a nuclear weapon. They want to live. There are people in that space who share that ideology, and almost in a sense, maybe it's like they know that they can find people who are nuts enough to move forward. And so while they won't do it, they know they can egg people on who will do it.
Yeah. I mean, well, how many times have we talked about it? It's just the echo chamber, and you're getting fed the things that you agree with.
Right.
You almost have to go out of your way in many cases to find someone from the opposite side.
Well, and another part of this too is it's the anonymity that Twitter and some of these other social media platforms bring. And what I mean by this is I've seen so many accounts, and I don't, the algorithms, whatever, obviously you start looking at stuff and then your algorithm's going to hit whatever. So in my algorithm, obviously, there's tons of Charlie Kirk stuff right now.
Right.
And so you see all these accounts you don't follow that are saying this just beyond stupid stuff about his vest or the microphone clip or something. I don't even know what they're trying to say, like with his ring or the AI dot or like all this stuff. And then they post this, and then because people respond to it, even if it's just to say you are stupid beyond belief, you have basically anon accounts that are getting millions of interactions, and then that is feeding the algorithm, which then feeds people. Right, and it's like I was watching this stuff last night, and I'm sure I was, in some level, egging this on, I guess, by clicking the comments, because I clicked the comments, and I was like, surely people don't believe this.
Right, because you want to see if somebody's saying, no, this is
And people were, but then I realized, but these people commenting are furthering the engagement. And the way the algorithm works, the algorithm doesn't recognize people are saying this is stupid. They just recognize people are engaging. Why don't we try to take a break real quick? Because I don't want to miss any of the press conference. If it happens during the break, we'll come back early. I want to make sure we have time to get the break in, because this press conference could happen at any second with the Charlie Kirk suspect.
It is Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Sun's up. The coffee is brewing. And Tony Katz is your morning information barista.
Tony Katz, good to be with you.
Clarity.
We're not interested in having this debate. We're only interested in honestly addressing the issue.
Context.
We should not present this in any other light. The objective is the destruction of Western civilization.
And a little caffeine.
Only the Constitution should rule.
Tony Katz in the Morning News. Weekdays 6 till 9 on 93 WIPC.
Are you worried about your taxes? Okay, so I'm talking to those of you out there that have not filed in a few years with the IRS or state. It's time to get worried, and here's why. The IRS is getting back from their own COVID lockdown, and they're hiring more enforcers, and they're going to come after people that owe taxes. So if you're a 1099 worker, and maybe you just plain forgot to file your taxes, you need to call the professionals right now at the Tax Helpline. They are experts at knowing the tax regulations, and their goal is to help you pay as little as possible. Call right now and get a 100% free tax evaluation. Remember, before the IRS knocks on your door, knock on our door. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, make this free call right now.
Call taxes 321 now at 800-808-9443. 800-808-9443. That's 800-808-9443.
The IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship is back at the racing capital of the world. This sports car racing event, September 19th through 21st, is different than anything you've seen at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Sunday the 21st, it's the TireRack.com Battle on the Bricks. And now the race runs 6 hours. The paddock is open for fans all weekend long. Infield camping opportunities make this a can't-miss weekend. Kids 15 and under are free with a paid adult. Get your tickets at IMS.com.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Neighborhoods are popping up everywhere, but if you want something different than what you're currently seeing, Joyner Homes, based out of Greenfield, can build you a unique, custom home on your own private lot or anywhere you can bring your own builder. They've built hundreds of homes across central Indiana. Visit Joyner Homes Model Homes or go to joynerhomes.com to see floor plans and pricing and more. With Joyner Homes, you can even start from scratch if you want. Check out their 5-star Google reviews and visit joynerhomes.com.
You're great at protecting your data, but lots of places could still expose you to identity theft.
I thought it was safe.
If that happens, LifeLock gives you a U.S.-based restoration agent who will stick by your side from start to finish. Phone calls, filing documentation, preparing insurance claims, your agent handles it all. In fact, we're so confident restoration is guaranteed or your money back. Isn't it nice to have someone like that on your side? Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at lifelock.com. Terms apply.
PA Jewelers at the Farmhouse in Brownsburg is where I buy jewelry for my wife and very nice watches for myself, including Flederman Von Riest, assembled right here in Indiana. The most incredible selection of diamonds, gold, and rare pieces. Talk to PA Jewelers about that special piece or that special piece you want to sell. And don't forget to join PA Jewelers for their anniversary sale on September 13th. I'll be there starting at 3 p.m. PA Jewelers at the Farmhouse, 3750 South Green Street in Brownsburg. PAJewelers.jewelry. That's PAJewelers.jewelry.
The Suburban Indie Home and Outdoor Living Show.
September 19th through 21st at Grand Park.
Shop, compare, and save with over 200 trusted experts.
Tickets are $7 at suburbanindieshows.com.
It's JMV and fall is in full swing at Miss M's Home and Garden. Locally grown mums and pumpkins plus fall annuals and decor. State Road 135 in Bargersville. MissMsHomeandGarden.com.
Okay, we were awaiting this press conference from the FBI. The word is out that they have caught, according to the President of the United States, that they have caught the suspect in the shooting of Charlie Kirk. We're awaiting a press conference. We'll go to it as soon as it starts. But in the meantime, the governor of our state, Mike Braun, was on Hammer and Nigel yesterday.
Yes.
And he was asked by Hammer and Nigel about the resignation of Jennifer Ruth Green, the public safety secretary, who he being Braun and his administration tried to skedoodle on out the door under essentially cover of darkness on a Friday afternoon with the Kevin Bacon and Animal House Nothing to See Here press release.
Yeah, he announced the change on social media Friday, right?
And it was like, thanks for being a part of the team.
Without providing any sort of reason.
You just thought she left to go do ministry somewhere or something. And so I found this answer fascinating given how they pushed her out the door. Listen to what he told Amber and Nigel.
You've had some changes in staff. Jennifer Ruth Green out of the public safety area. Anthony Scott in. Take us through why Jennifer Ruth Green is out and Anthony Scott is in.
So whenever you're getting into employee issues and you're in government, it's very clear what you need to do. There's a process that you follow, and you follow it to the T, and we did in this case. So when there was someone that she hired within her department that raised an issue about how it was being run, you go to an inspector general, or you're going to then involve eventually maybe even ethics to see if things were done. So whenever we had that complaint, it triggered the process of doing that, and they came back with their report not too long ago, and then in doing it, found some other things that involved the ethics side of it and other issues that will be looked at. But it was done with full process. We did it according to the way you need to do it. And when we found out what the results were, because she had a good track record. I mean, she was a cybersecurity expert on parts of the job.
Here we go.
Was doing fine. But this came up, and then we followed the process, and we will fully and transparently the rest of the way out. So,
okay. So it sounds like there was some sort of, I don't know if investigation is the right word, but you guys looked into something?
Oh, no, it was an investigation with formality from the Inspector General's office.
Okay, he's so full of it. He's so full of it. Like, I want to puke when I listen to that. Not anyway, anything Hammer and Nigel did a great job asking the question. It was a great get for them. First of all, this is not some rank and file state worker down in the basement at the Indiana Government Center.
She's in the cabinet.
She serves at the direct pleasure of the governor. He could have told her from the word go, you out of here. He didn't have to go through any of this. He's trying to act like this was something where he was worried about the state getting sued or whatever. No. She's in the cabinet. She comes and goes at your pleasure, Mr. Governor. And we know, based on the Capitol Chronicle report, that they had that remediation agreement laid out
in July,
pending any sort of Inspector General investigation, which I still don't think that's been released to the public yet. Maybe he's got it.
No, the Inspector General's office hasn't confirmed or denied any investigation. Of course, they're citing confidentiality policy.
So he knew exactly what she was months ago. He let her stay there. And I'm guessing at this point, the only reason they pushed her out the door is they knew stuff was about to go down. They knew it was going to come out, and they tried to the best of their ability to cover it up by pushing her out the door with no inclination that anything was amiss whatsoever, other than people like us had to go, wait. She's been there a few months, and a $275,000 job, and she's a political person through and through. She ain't quitting that on her own.
Well, it seems to me that the complaints were forwarded to the governor's office. The governor's office looked into it and said, okay, we need to send this over to the Inspector General, and we'll wait and see what the Inspector General finds out.
But again, she's a cabinet member. They signed the remediation agreement with stuff that she admitted to, and that's just what she admitted to. They knew all this other stuff was out there. They had to clearly think there was some where there's smoke, there's fire. Is that the old saying? And they let her stay on. And why they let her stay on is the question he should be asking. If you made her sign this, and you don't have to go through the formal process you do with everybody else, because she's a cat, and even if you did, she's a political person. She would have done whatever she was told anyway. I call bull crap on all of that, where he started to go, we let the Inspector General investigate. No, bull crap. That's bull. He tried to push it under the rug. He got caught. And if we're like, I don't think it's a huge stretch to think if they tried to cover it up with her, what about his close political buddy Kleinhelter, Tom Kleinhelter, the Du Bois County Sheriff? If he'd do this with her, what are things going on over there?
Will they send that to the Inspector General's office?
Why don't we do another investigation on that, Mr. Governor?
Yeah, the IG looking out for waste, fraud, and abuse. Of course, Green has said that these allegations are all baseless. They're politically motivated. She's considering legal action. She's considering a run for Congress.
Oh, good. I hope she sues everyone. I'd love for the legal action. I'd
Discovery?
love to have full discovery. I'd love for all of that. She ain't going to do nothing, and that is ridiculous. That is ridiculous that he comes on here, and again, great on Hammer Nigel to ask the question to get the answer, but to try to act like his hands were tied or he needed to wait for that Inspector General's investigation. He could do whatever he wanted because she serves in his cabinet.
You are listening to Kendall and Casey. It is 93 WIBC.
A Quality Supply and Tool now through November 2nd. While supplies last, there's a huge Milwaukee sale going on. Enjoy lower prices on outdoor power tools like chainsaws and blowers. Or grab a select M18 4 or 6-piece combo kit and get not one, but your choice of 2 select M18 tools free. The sale's at all 4 Quality Supply and Tool locations in Bloomington, Lafayette, Indianapolis, and Jeffersonville. Whether you're a pro during the week or want to work like one on weekends, Quality Supply and Tool helps you do it by thinking outside the box. Store.
Siri, read me that text.
Sorry, I can't complete your request.
You want me to read that?
No, I got it.
Construction zone.
I see it.
Watch it. Oh my God. You're gonna hit him!
Oh, fuck!
When driving in a construction zone, be smart, be alert, be in the zone.
This is Brian Short, business manager for the Indiana Laborers District Council. Everyone deserves a safe place to work. Do your part in the cone zone. Slow down, save lives. We're all in this together.
A message from Indiana's District Council of Laborers International Union of North America and affiliated locals.
Of all the times to buy a new Lincoln, right now is the very best time at Tom Roush Lincoln. Get 0% APR for up to 48 months on 2025 Lincoln Corsair, Nautilus, or Aviator. Plus get a $1,000 Tom Roush Trade Assist bonus. So come get that new Lincoln from Tom Roush Lincoln, where our family's been serving yours for over 53 years.
36-month, 10,000-mile per year lease. $2,500 due at signing. No security deposit required. All offers subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details. Ends 9/30/25.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level. On the go.
A suspect is in custody. It's sunny and 68 in downtown Indy. Highs today in the mid-80s. I'm Jarrett Lewis. Here's what's trending now at 9:30. That's according to President Trump. He joined Fox and Friends this morning to break the news about the Charlie Kirk assassin.
I don't want to go too far. I'd like to tell you some stories at how it happened, but essentially somebody that was very close to him turned him in.
The alleged gunman was caught on video running across a campus building roof and jumping off in the minutes after the shooting. Kirk was speaking at Utah Valley University Wednesday when he was shot and killed. President Trump also announcing today that Memphis will be the next city to see a National Guard deployment.
We're going to Memphis. Memphis is
that's the next city.
Deeply troubled. And the mayor is happy. He's a Democrat mayor. The mayor is happy. And the governor, Tennessee. The governor is happy.
This follows the president sending the National Guard to Washington, D.C., which is currently suing him to lift the deployment. And California lawmakers passing a bill that would ban most law enforcement officers from wearing masks. That bill now heads to Governor Gavin Newsom. Your opening bell report on 93 WIBC brought to you by Absolute Wealth Management. The Dow is down 60 points to 46,108. The S&P 500 is unchanged at 6,587 points. The NASDAQ is in the green, 31 points, 23,992. I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
Some things can steal your sunshine.
Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit Pfizerforall.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
20 ribeyes for $35. That's 20 ribeyes for $35 at 2 locations in Indianapolis going on now. 20 ribeyes for only $35 at the corner of South Emerson and Thompson Road. Just look for the big truck. Also in the parking lot across the street from Perry Meridian 6th Grade Academy. Also on the big truck is cases of T-bones, fillets, New York strips, burgers, and a whole lot more. Big truck sale. Marinated chicken breasts too. Don't wait. Big steak sale at 2 different locations. At the corner of South Emerson and Thompson Road. Also in the Hardee's parking lot on Meridian across from Perry Meridian 6th Grade Academy. 20 ribeyes for just $35. Don't wait. Everything must go. Big truck sale. That's 20 ribeyes for $35 at the corner of South Emerson and Thompson Road. Also in the Hardee's parking lot on Meridian across from Perry Meridian 6th Grade Academy. Get there before the truck is gone.
Garage door problems? Call today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis services all makes of garage doors 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call today for service today. 875-4577. Call today for service today. Get it fixed right now. Call Garage Doors of Indianapolis at 875-4577 or visit doorstoday.com.
In the morning, call 875-4577. For service today.
Call today or go to bwindow.com and receive up to 50% off plus a free patio door.
Because at B-Window,
we mean business.
All right, so we're still waiting for the FBI press conference regarding the alleged shooter in the Charlie Kirk assassination. The President of the United States came out. There's the guy again, Casey. Hello, check 1, 2, hello.
Mm-hmm.
There's like the 9th time that guy's been up at the podium.
Yeah.
Kev, he looks like he's actually talking this time, though. Can you hear in your little Q button, whatever thing there, if we're getting close to this, if he's
whatever thing there, like you don't know what it is?
People?
It says they're waiting.
Hello, I have nothing to say. Like, why do they do this?
Just making sure the microphone works.
It worked 2 minutes ago.
Mm-hmm. Well, could you imagine you're responsible for the audio-visual technology? They come out for this big press conference that everybody wants to hear, and then you're the one who didn't make sure that the equipment was working?
Yeah, but it was just working.
Mm-hmm.
Did someone unplug something?
He's maybe a nervous Nelly. He's going to keep checking.
Yeah, but this is really throwing everyone off, and they do this all the time, right? Like, 2 minutes, and then 5 minutes go by. 2 minutes, and then 5 more minutes. 2 minutes. This happens, it seems, all the time with big government events where they're 40, 50, an hour, like, behind. What, is somebody busy? Some guy get caught in the can?
You think they're working on the language?
Was there an extended, brunch? Like, why can these government people never be on time?
Okay, now they're reporting a name.
Well, okay. Well, we'll let them give that. And anyway, stick around. That's coming up here. Okay, so let's talk about that for a second, though. We're not going to say this person's name, but that name is not the name that was floating around on Twitter as of this morning.
It's not.
So this brings me to the next thing, which is because several people had messaged me because there was a name that was floating around and people go, this person allegedly has some ties to the community where you live. And I was like, I've not seen any legitimate news source report this person's name. It comes back to the anon Twitter accounts. Well, now that person's name, because apparently that person was all over the internet sparring with Charlie Kirk at one point. It's like, that poor person doesn't appear to have done anything wrong, and yet their name
was out there in the ether.
Is all over the internet now as some person who was alleged to have had something potentially to do with this. Well, how do they get their reputation back? Simply not liking Charlie Kirk or going to some event with Charlie Kirk and sparring with him back and forth or having a passionate debate with him. That doesn't make you a killer. And now that person's name is all over the internet. And I know legitimate people, like business type people or whatever, who were trying to share this with me. And I just wanted to so bad. I just ignore it now. I've reached the point in my life, Casey, where ignore things that aren't accurate rather than try to point it out to people.
Well, the FBI said, they got over 7,000 different tips, the most that they had received since the Boston Marathon bombing. So that's a lot to sift through.
I'm not blaming the FBI. What I'm saying is that, I'm blaming the people who share, and I'm not talking like the well-intended local people. I'm talking about the malicious internet people who are putting things out with videos. I'm sure a bunch of the information, even on why they were basing it on this is the shooter, is not accurate.
But do you think they were being malicious, or do you think that they were trying to help?
No, I think if you're saying this is the shooter, how could it be anything but malicious? Clearly, that name we're seeing on our screen is not the name that we were seeing was floating around on the internet. And the only thing you could be doing if you're sharing that and pointing that out as a fact, it's not, hey, we're hearing it. What is just malicious for clicks and whatever, and that's going to screw that person up because now they're in some sort of vortex, however the algorithm vortex where that person's name until days or weeks from now when it's definitive this person did it or whatever, that person who clearly didn't have anything to do with it or apparently didn't have anything to do with it is now lumped in there as being the shooter or associated with the shooter or part of the event.
Well, we are still waiting for the press conference, the FBI update. Donald Trump, when he was on Fox and Friends this morning, said that the father of the assassin turned the shooter in and actually drove him to the police headquarters. Imagine being in that position.
Well, if it's true.
Correct.
Because Trump's jumped the gun a couple times on things before, too. So, you'd assume he wouldn't be out there saying things that aren't true. But again, we're going to have a press conference coming up here in just a little bit, and we will take you to it as soon as it happens 9 hours from now when somebody finally goes out there that can make a definitive statement other than this poor guy that keeps having to go 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes. So in the meantime, we'll try to keep you entertained. We will go to that press conference as soon as it happens with fun and frivolity. Did you see there's drama in Carmel over a proposed dating show?
Is that what it is? It's a dating show. I know it's a reality show casting call.
Oh, I thought it was a dating show.
Controversy in Carmel.
It is. Yeah, it's a reality. According to the Indy Star, it's a reality-based TV dating show.
Okay.
The mayor came out. Our old pal Spendin' Sue Finkham. She's elated about this, according to the Star. She said, quote, on Twitter, next year a fun new TV show will be filmed right here in our city. And in addition to showing off our incredible built environment, they're looking to highlight the very best of Carmel, our people. Now, look,
Casting call seeks people with big personalities and bigger opinions. Rob Kendall.
I'm married.
Oh, wait a minute.
Very married.
Yes.
Now,
it's to help singles find love in the city.
10 years ago. Well, I don't live in Carmel, but I'd have been all over Kevin doesn't live in Carmel either.
Oh, that's
but,
right.
Okay, so she says this. Then the council president, Adam Ossen, goes, well, it looks very suspicious to me. I would advise people to never give that level of information to a website that won't say what they are and who they're from. I've tried to verify what the company is and have been unable to. Perhaps this is all legitimate, but it would be nice to have verification of that before asking community members to provide all this information.
Yes, some concerns about the legitimacy of the casting call. Well, I guess when you
because the mayor retweeted this flyer and everything.
Right, which invites people to apply, and they ask for your name, your birthday, recent photos, your contact info, your social media handles, and you have to answer a question like, why do you think you're a good matchmaker? Okay,
and again, not to in any way besmirch anyone who's ever been on a dating show, but is that really the best your city has to offer?
Is that what you...
Is a reality dating show really the best your city has to offer?
That's what Carmel wants to be known for? Probably not. But the city says that they have fully vetted the process. There's no financial obligation or contracts with the city. They put that out there.
They want you to
We're
know.
not paying for this in any way.
That's correct.
Participation is completely voluntary.
All right. Why don't we go ahead and take another break? Maybe when we come back, we'll finally have have this press conference, which I knew when I walked in here at 8:55 when they were like, press conference coming. So we'll be through the first hour of this show before they finally get that press conference underway. So maybe when we come back, they'll finally have the press conference ready to go on the Charlie Kirk, the alleged shooter in the Charlie Kirk assassination.
It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Hammer and Nigel show this afternoon, the latest on the hunt for Charlie Kirk's killer. Bill O'Reilly will join us, and it's Beer Sample Friday. 93 WIBC.
It's football season. The air is crisp, the stakes are high, and every winning team has one thing in common: a solid game plan. The same goes for retirement. You need a clear strategy, smart play calling, and a team who knows the field. At Howard Bailey Financial, we help you prepare for the long game, anticipating challenges, protecting your lead, and calling the right plays when it matters most. Because, let's face it, retirement isn't a pickup game. It's the championship round, and you don't want to wing it. Get off the sidelines and into the huddle. Text PLAY to 888-494-5004 to download your free retirement toolkit. That's PLAY to 888-494-5004. Howard Bailey Financial, because every great retirement deserves a game-winning drive. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. See disclosures at howardbailey.com.
All right, let's talk about our old pal, one of the greatest Hoosiers that ever lived, the great Mark Diedahl. You know, Zillow ranks Indianapolis number 2 among 2025's hottest markets. Home values have risen and are holding strong. Now is a great time to sell. Hire the team with proven systems to maximize your equity. Sell your home with our guy, Mark Diedahl. Maybe you want a fast, guaranteed, no-hassle home sale, but don't want to give up hard-earned equity to do it. Mark Diedahl guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. Listen to what Dan and Casey in Indianapolis had to say about working with Mark Diedahl. It was time to downsize, and we needed to sell our old house quickly at full value. Mark Diedahl made it happen. We got our asking price in a few weeks without any repairs or an appraisal. Call the local Indianapolis agent I trust and recommend, and the agent who guarantees your home sold or he'll buy it. Call Mark Diedahl 317-755-4232 for all the details, or go online to markdiedahl.com. That's Mark, DIETEL.com.
Football is back, and so are great hairlines. We Grow Hair Indy has helped former local professional football players get back in the game with full natural hair. You don't have to play pro ball to get pro-level results. Hey, it's Rob, and I knew I picked the right team when I needed a Hail Mary for my hair. I called We Grow Hair Indy. Whether you're tailgating, coaching, or watching from the couch, do it with confidence. Trade the sidelines for a hairline. Get back in the game at We Grow Hair Indy. Schedule your free evaluation today at WeGrowHairIndy.com. That's WeGrowHairIndy.com, or call 317-522-2995. That's 317-522-2995. Enjoy being out and about this fall. Enjoy watching the games in person with your friends with confidence you haven't had in years. And you can do it with a trip to We Grow Hair Indy. 317-522-2995. 317-522-2995. Tell them Rob sent you.
Hey, fall's in the air at Sundown Gardens in Westfield and Miss M's Home and Garden in Bargersville. Locally grown mums and pumpkins are everywhere, along with fall annuals and a wide selection of fall decor. Stop in this week to get your home beautified and in season for the cool days and crisp fall nights. Locally grown mums and pumpkins plus fall annuals and decor all at Sundown Gardens up north at 186th Street and Spring Mill Road in Westfield, and Miss M's on State Road 135 just south of Whiteland Road in Bargersville.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Snap it. Send it. Hear it. Your photos, your video, your voice on WIBC. Join the text club by texting WIBC to 317-239-9393.
All right. I can't believe we got to do this, but Really, we got to explain to some of our elected officials how free speech actually works. There's that guy again, Casey.
I know. He's up there checking the microphone.
We are going to go to the press conference on the Charlie Kirk. The President of the United States said earlier today that the shooter is in custody, or the alleged shooter is in custody. Fox News has been reporting that there is a press conference coming up at any moment. I knew an hour ago that we were going to get through this whole hour before they had the press conference. And what I'm referencing is, like, every 2 minutes, there's this same guy who just walks up to the podium. We have the TV on. We will take you to the feed when it happens. But, like, we can just see this guy, and he just keeps walking up. He says, like, one or two things, and then he just walks back.
Yeah, he's just checking the microphone to just make sure nobody tripped and unplugged it or something.
Yeah. Like, who would be doing that?
Yeah, he's just checking the microphone to just make sure nobody tripped and unplugged.
Doing that? What member of the microphone? Well, of course, right? But so that is just that is.
It's frustrating to you because you keep thinking, "Oh, this is it. It's starting."
Well, yeah, we're trying to do a broadcast
but no, it's
here.
just the guy who's checking the microphone.
Yeah, and it's poor Kevin who's
one,
getting
two.
the worst part of this, because Kevin has to listen to this thing in one of his ears, and every time this guy walks up there, then he's got to stop what he's doing, and then we got to stop what we're doing. But the point of all this is, as soon as the press conference happens, it could be 11:30 at this rate, but whenever it happens, we will go to the press conference and let you know what is happening, what the latest is on this.
Yeah, it's an update from the FBI. This after Donald Trump said that the suspect has been caught and is in custody.
Okay. In the meantime, though, we got to tell our lawmakers how freedom of speech works.
Right.
Because all we heard from the Republicans and the conservatives and the liberty people over the, when Biden was president, is they're silencing us. They're shutting us down. We can't say what we want, which is right.
Shadow ban.
Right? It was ridiculous, and we said that it was totally ridiculous. Somehow, I've never been banned or suspended from any social media platform.
That's because you're just as mean to Republicans
That's right.
as Democrats.
I'm totally
They
convinced
can't
of that.
figure you out.
I say highly inflammatory stuff on social media. Now, I never cross any lines, but because being a trained broadcasting professional, Case, both in my social media and professional broadcasting life, you learn where the line is. It's like Field of Dreams. You can walk right up to the line, but once you cross the line, you can't go back. And so it's a really fine art to be as inflammatory as possible and never cross any societal lines. But I've never been suspended.
You've never incited violence.
No, of course not. But, I say
Thankfully.
things. No, of course, and I never would.
Right.
But it's amazing, of all the people I know who have been suspended, I have never been suspended. And I think a big part of it is because in whatever algorithm thing or whatever they've got, they're like, he's very mean to Republicans too. Let it go.
Yeah.
There has to be some person who reviews all this, right?
You think there's somebody in a room checking all the posts?
People, you can't just get banned, right? It's got to be submitted to something. It goes somewhere into the ether. And some person has to review it, don't they?
Well, you've never crossed the terms of service line.
That's right.
Yeah.
But anyway, now the Republicans are mad about the people that are celebrating the Charlie Kirk death, which is despicable. It's abhorrent. Those people are gross. They should be, shamed out of decent society. But you can't say that you're upset when your side is getting... It's like the American flag burner people. Yeah, that's disgusting. You shouldn't do it. It's an insult to the country. But it doesn't mean you don't have the right to do it. It doesn't mean we should be arresting people who do it. And the same thing here. The society should police itself in this sense. Those people are gross and should be called out and publicly shamed. They're behaving in that manner, celebrating anything that happened. But you shouldn't ban
legislate
them.
it?
And that's the big part.
Right.
They're trying to legislate this guy. What's his name?
Clay Higgins from Louisiana. He's a rep from Louisiana. He's announced plans to push for lifetime bans on social media users who celebrated the assassination of Charlie Kirk. He declared his intentions. They go actually beyond social media bans. He wants to revoke business licenses and permits. He wants to blacklist their business. He wants to kick them out of schools and also revoke their driver's license.
Well, Mr. McCarthy, nice to meet you. I mean, this is ridiculous. Everybody wants freedom of speech until they don't like the speech. You never notice that, Casey? Everybody wants freedom of speech as long as their side isn't the one allowed to speak. But once they're allowed to speak, and obviously conservatives have had the voice, allowed back on Twitter since Elon Musk purchased it. Now he's doing the same
So
thing.
it's swinging the other way. He said that he will use congressional authority and influence big tech to mandate immediate permanent removal of posts and profiles celebrating the assassination.
Okay, now some guy is moving up with cameras, and it looks like there's a swarm of people moving towards the podium. Are they doing something? No, they got us again, Casey.
I love you're giving us play-by-play of what's going on of an empty podium.
Yeah. Well, what else? What other choice do I have? All right, what else? What else is going on, Casey? We got to have a couple other things here.
Well, did you want to talk about all of the comedy acts that are coming to Indianapolis?
Yeah, did you see Adam Sandler is probably the big one, right? This fall, Adam Sandler will be here.
Big surge in live comedy events, and some people are saying that Indianapolis should be called Laugh Town now. You've got Jim Gaffigan, who's coming. He's going to be here in October. Indiana native, coming home to make us all laugh. That was a reschedule, actually, from 24 due to some TV conflicts. But he's going to be here in October. You've got Adam Sandler, like you mentioned, October 6th. He'll be performing at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. It's the You're My Best Friend tour, 31 stops. That show's recommended for those 16 and older.
Adam Sandler, it's wild because he went a long time without doing his stand-up comedy. Obviously, he was a stand-up comedian, Saturday Night Live. That's how he made a name for himself. He did shows very early on in his career. There's that guy again, Casey. It's the 9,000th time I've had to see that dude. Is this person talking, Kevin?
No.
Why are all these people at this podium? What are they doing? It's a little bitty podium. It's not like it's the Resolute desk. It's this little bitty podium, and all these people keep walking up to it. What was she doing? She had a binder full of stuff.
She was putting the notes on top of the podium. So that when somebody walks up to the podium, their speech is already there.
All right. So anyway, Adam Sandler got back, and he's done this now a couple times now here over the past few years. He's almost 60 years old.
Is he really?
I could not believe he was that old.
Yeah, I believe that.
I was listening to Hammer Nigel the other day, and he had a birthday, and he is 59 years old.
Did you ever watch Happy Gilmore 2? Did you ever?
I don't.
You're not going to.
I don't have an hour and 30 minutes.
Yes, you do.
I do not. When? When do I have an hour?
During the day, you talk all the time. You get home from work and you watch your shows.
But I do a million other things while I'm watching them. Look, I know how the.
Do you think you need full concentration for Happy Gilmore 2?
Casey, let me tell you how my stories, which are the Chris Hansen episodes, how they go. I know how they go. Alleged pedophile shows up, thinks he's meeting a 15-year-old. Chris Hansen walks out, asks him what he's doing, tells him to have a seat. They go back and forth for about 15 minutes. The cops swoop in and arrest the guy. Everyone ends exactly the same. I don't need my full freight of focus. I can clean the house. I can do it with a little bit of work. If I'm going to watch a movie, I got to watch the movie. I'm sure the plot is very intense in the Happy Gilmore 2 movie, and I'm sure it's one of those where if you miss even 30 seconds, you could miss a key part of the movie, and I just don't have that sort of time.
I don't think you'll need your full freight of focus to watch Happy Gilmore 2, but whatever. If that's the excuse you want to give. You also have Taylor Tomlinson that's coming, Steve Martin and Martin Short are coming, and also Nate Bargatze as well.
All right, so we'll take a break. And at any point here during the news or whatever, if the press conference starts, we will take you to it as we're getting ready to hear the latest. Now she's got a phone and is taking a selfie.
It's Kendall Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Comcast Business High Five Hotline. What's the state of your excitement?
I signed my business up for the 5-year price lock guarantee, and I can't stop high-fiving people. High five!
Okay, deep
high
breath.
High five.
You're in a good place. You signed your business up for 5 years of gig speed internet and advanced security, all on our ultra-reliable network.
Gig speeds and advanced security? I'm so stoked.
Yep, and you get it at a great rate that's locked in for 5 years.
Woo!
The high five is just your body's way of saying, I'm winning.
So this is natural.
High-fiving everyone you see in a state of business savings enthusiasm, totally natural.
Sweet! Thank you! Thank you! High five, everybody! High five!
The Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee is back, but only for a limited time, so sign your business up today. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 9/21/25 for new customers with qualifying bundle. Current customers may be eligible depending on services and area. Guaranteed rate applies to monthly service charge, excluding taxes and fees. Other restrictions apply.
Without an Advent clinic nearby, people suffering needlessly from chronic nasal congestion and sinus infections would be stuck with either Band-Aid or sledgehammer solutions. Band-Aids are pills or nasal sprays, and they're not true solutions. Surgery is a sledgehammer, and that's what we're trying to avoid. Because most people don't need surgery for nose and sinus issues, nor do they want a 14-day recovery. Our unique Advent approach can, in 20 minutes in our office, open your blocked nose for good, with only 1-day recovery. I'm Advent founder Dr. Kandula. Outside of Advent's 4 walls, invasive surgery is what they'll recommend. But here, you will find effective and convenient in-office solutions to help you stop the need for Band-Aids and avoid the sledgehammer.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. AdventKnows.com. Most insurance accepted.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to My Computer Career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu. My Computer Career, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Football is back, and so are great hairlines. We Grow Hair India has helped former local professional football players get back in the game with full natural hair. You don't have to play pro ball to get pro-level results. Hey, it's Rob, and I knew I picked the right team when I needed a Hail Mary for my hair. I called We Grow Hair Indy. Whether you're tailgating, coaching, or watching from the couch, do it with confidence. Trade the sidelines for a hairline. Get back in the game at We Grow Hair Indy. Schedule your free evaluation today at WeGrowHairIndy.com. That's WeGrowHairIndy.com, or call 317-522-2995. That's 317-522-2995. Enjoy being out and about this fall. Enjoy watching the games in person with your friends with confidence you haven't had in years. And you can do it with a trip to We Grow Hair Indy. 317-522-2995. 317-522-2995. Tell them Rob sent you.
Technology Recyclers is the safe and ethical choice for your computer and electronics recycling. R2 certified, 100% landfill free, guaranteed destruction of data, and absolutely free pickups. Visit tech-recyclers.com.
Coming up in 2 minutes from the Technology Recyclers studios, we're waiting to hear from the FBI this hour on who was taken into custody in connection with the assassination of Charlie Kirk. A county coroner is under investigation for an alleged relationship he had with a young girl. And warmer weather expected this weekend. We'll have more on the forecast in just a few minutes. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. Back to Fox News, it's 10 o'clock.
This is a Fox News alert. The suspected Charlie Kirk assassin captured. I'm Dave Anthony. That's what President Trump told Fox and Friends this morning after images and surveillance videos of the suspect had been made public.
Somebody this close recognizes even a little tilt of the head, which nobody else would do. And somebody that was very close to him said, that's him.
Now, we're still awaiting official word from the FBI at a news conference that's been delayed a little bit. Fox's C.B. Cotton reports from Utah Valley University, where Kirk was murdered Wednesday.
The suspect has now been identified as Tyler Robinson, and we are hoping to learn more about who this person is at this news conference. But we heard this morning President Trump seem to suggest that a person close to Tyler turned him in. What I'm hearing from one federal source, I just got a note from, is that this suspect's father turned him in last night in southern Utah.
Now back to the president on Fox. He again claimed Washington is crime-free now after his federal crackdown on D.C. that included National Guard troops and federal agents. And he still wants to intervene in Chicago, too, but Democrats keep resisting federal help.
There are a couple of bad Republicans places, and we'll fix them up.
He said Memphis, Tennessee is next for him to send federal resources to fight crime and...
Well, the governor of Louisiana, that's the other thing we could fix up. I could fix that up in a week and a half. New Orleans is really in bad shape.
A Naval Academy student in Maryland is recovering after being injured for real in the middle of an active shooter situation that ended up fake, a false alarm.
Navy students sheltering in the dorms under that lockdown order mistook a real naval security officer clearing the building as the falsely reported active shooter, hitting him in the head with a parade rifle used for training. The officer fired his gun, hitting the midshipman in the arm. That person's now hospitalized in stable condition.
That's Fox's Chris Foster. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Soon identifying the suspect. You've got a sunny sky with a clear radar. 69 in the Circle City, the high around 85 today. I'm Jarrett Lewis. It's now 10:02. The FBI is holding a press conference any minute now to provide more details on the suspected Charlie Kirk assassin. President Donald Trump said he has a high degree of certainty that the person who killed Kirk is in custody.
And somebody that was very close to him said, that's him. And essentially went to the father, went to a U.S. Marshal, who was fantastic, by the way.
He made the comment in an interview this morning with Fox News. Kirk was shot and killed on Wednesday while speaking at a college event in Utah. As a guest on WIBC's Hammer and Nigel Thursday, Indiana Governor Mike Braun spoke to the political violence he's seen a lot of lately.
Something's got to give. Everybody says that. It seems to keep happening. And, for his family and everyone involved, it's just one of those, how do you get through it?
Meanwhile, Johnson County Coroner Mike Pruitt is under investigation after a series of texts with a 17-year-old high school student. Pruitt is accused of buying alcohol and cannabis gummies for the teenager, recording her while she was intoxicated, and later sending her the audio. Police believe he gave her tips on using the gummies and told her to stash beer in her room after a 4-H event in Illinois. Sheriff Dwayne Burgess requested the review after serving Pruitt with a protective order last month. State police are now investigating. Indiana is heading into a stretch of hot, dry weather. Highs will reach the 90s this weekend, and rain chances remain low. Several southern counties have issued burn bans due to ongoing drought conditions.
Our ground fuels are really dry, so it's just easy for things to catch on fire faster. We luckily don't have much wind to contend with, which usually we'll look at wind because it'll spread the fire faster.
National Weather Service forecaster Casey Fuson says northern Indiana could see a few showers or storms late Saturday night into early Sunday. And the Indiana Fever will be taking on the Atlanta Dream in the first round of the WNBA playoffs. Head coach Stephanie White feels they have a leg up, having had a few extra days off to prepare.
It is an advantage, there's no doubt. Obviously, when you scale back, you become a little bit predictable. So we want to add a couple things, tweak a couple of things so that we have some new actions running into playoffs.
Indiana closed the regular season with 3 straight wins. Game 1 of their series with the Dream is on Sunday. I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com. Kendall and Casey back in 1 minute.
WindowNation.com for an incredible deal right now in September. You're going to save big this month. Buy 2 windows and you'll get 2 for free. No payments for 2 years. You won't have to deal with monthly payments, a down payment, or even any interest until 2027. I have Window Nation windows. They have brought the energy bills down in my house. My wife and I absolutely love our Window Nation windows.
Window Nation offers a lifetime warranty on all of their windows. So you can relax knowing your home is protected far into the future. And this deal, it's a good one. Buy 2 windows, get 2 for free. Make no payments for 2 years. Nothing down, no payments. You don't have to deal with anything until 2027. 866-90-NATION. Call and talk to a rep. Schedule that free in-home estimate. 866-90-NATION or go to windownation.com. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
All right, we go now to the press conference in Orem, Utah, regarding the capture of the alleged shooter in the Charlie Kirk assassination.
Video in a plain maroon t-shirt, light-colored shorts, a black hat with a white logo, and light-colored shoes. When encountered in person by investigators in Washington County on September 12th, in the early morning hours, Robinson was observed in consistent clothing with those surveillance images. Investigators interviewed a family member of Robinson who stated that Robinson had become more political in recent years. The family member referenced a recent incident in which Robinson came to dinner prior to September 10th, and in the conversation with another family member, Robinson mentioned Charlie Kirk was coming to UVU. They talked about why they didn't like him and the viewpoints that he had. The family member also stated Kirk was full of hate and spreading hate. The family member also confirmed Robinson had a gray Dodge Challenger. Investigators identified an individual as the roommate of Robinson. Investigators interviewed that roommate, who stated that his roommate, referring to Robinson, made a joke on Discord. Investigators asked if he would show them the messages on Discord. He opened it and showed several messages to investigators and allowed investigators to take photos of the screen as each message was shown by Robinson's roommate. These photos consisted of various messages, including content of messages between the phone contact name Tyler with an emoji icon and Robinson's roommate's device. The content of these messages included messages affiliated with the contact Tyler, stating a need to retrieve a rifle from a drop point, leaving the rifle in a bush, messages related to visually watching the area where a rifle was left, and a message referring to having left the rifle wrapped in a towel. The messages also refer to engraving bullets and a mention of a scope and the rifle being unique. Messages from the contact Tyler also mentioned that he had changed outfits. I know there has been speculation as well as to the writing on those casings, those bullet casings, and I believe we have that as well. And I will share that with you now. So the area north of Campus Drive Road where the suspect crossed over, you saw some of that in the video that we released last night, consists of a grassy area with trees on the edge of the UVU campus. Investigators discovered a bolt-action rifle wrapped in a dark-colored towel. The rifle was determined to be a Mauser Model 98 30-06 caliber bolt-action rifle. The rifle had a scope mounted on top of it. Investigators noted inscriptions that had been engraved on casings found with the rifle. Inscriptions on a fired casing read, "Notices, bulges, capital OWO, what's this, question mark." Inscriptions on the 3 unfired casings read, "Hey fascist, exclamation point, catch, exclamation point." Up arrow symbol, right arrow and symbol, and 3 down arrow symbols. A second unfired casing read, "Oh Bella Chow, Bella Chow, Bella Chow, Chow Chow," and a third unfired casing read, "If you read this, you are gay, LMAO." We are indebted to law enforcement across the state who has worked seamlessly together, local law enforcement, state law enforcement, and our federal partners with the Federal Bureau of Investigation. We're grateful for everyone who worked together in such a short amount of time to find this person and to bring justice. I want to thank the public who has been so engaged reviewing.
Okay, if you're just joining us, we are at the press conference in Orem, Utah. The governor of Utah, Spencer Cox, is speaking about the apprehension of the suspect in the Charlie Kirk assassination.
Members of Tyler Robinson who did the right thing in this case and were able to bring him into to law enforcement as well. I especially want to thank the family of Charlie Kirk, Erica, Charlie's parents, his children. I want us to be thinking of them as we bring justice in this case. They will be involved in that justice. We will be working very closely with them as we move through this process as well. This is a very sad day for our country, a terrible day for the state of Utah, but I'm grateful that at this moment we have an opportunity to bring closure to this very dark chapter in our nation's history. With that, I will now turn the microphone over to the Director of the FBI, Kash Patel.
Thank you, Governor. This is what happens when you let good cops be cops. The FBI and our partners are proud to stand here today together to bring justice to the family of Charlie Kirk and honor his memory. I want to express my deep gratitude to President Trump, the Vice President, and the entire White House who have been so incredibly supportive with both resources and just personally to the FBI as a team. They had our backs the entire way, and I just want to express my gratitude for giving us the resources we need to operate in this space to bring this sort of justice at this sort of speed. In 33 hours, we have made historic progress for Charlie. Governor Cox, our partnership has been absolutely incredible these last few days. Our partnership will endure. Your state and local partners, your sheriffs, your DPS community has been unbelievably impressive in the hardest of times. And a case like this cannot be solved, cannot be brought without partnering with your state and local authorities. The FBI has a certain role to play, and we will play that role, and we will lead out for the federal government. But Governor Cox, we are so grateful for your state partnership that led out on this investigation. A little bit of the timeline. Charlie was shot at 12:23 p.m. on Wednesday. The first FBI agents arrived on scene in 16 minutes with chiefs of police at 12:39 and secured the scene. The FBI immediately launched fixed-wing assets. We utilized these assets to transport personnel, specialty technicians, hostage rescue teams. We also utilized these assets to go back and forth from the East Coast and here in Utah to transport forensic evidence and other evidence that will be analyzed and is being analyzed at our FBI laboratories in Quantico and other laboratories, including the ATF. At my direction, the FBI released the first set of FBI photos of the suspect at 10 a.m. local time on 9/11. Then, shortly thereafter, the FBI reward of $100,000 was released at 10:45 a.m. local. Myself and Deputy Director Bongino arrived on the scene at approximately 5:30 p.m. on 9/11. The governor led a press conference last night at approximately 8 p.m., where at my direction, the FBI released a never-before-seen video of the suspect. We also released new images to the public of the suspect. And just last night, the suspect was taken into custody at 10 p.m. local time. In less than 36 hours, 33 to be precise, thanks to the full weight of the federal government and leading out with the partners here in the state of Utah and Governor Cox, the suspect was apprehended in a historic time period. And I want to highlight what Governor Cox said. This would not have been possible without you, the media, and you, the public. That's why we went so public, so fast, and we're so transparent, and we're committed to that transparency. The crime scene.
If you're just joining us, you're hearing the voice of Kash Patel, director of the FBI. This is a press conference in Orem, Utah, involving the apprehension of the alleged shooter in the Charlie Kirk assassination.
Ability to walk through that crime scene and walk through the steps the suspect took to learn more about what was needed and what resources we needed to bear to create a full picture for the FBI and leadership back in Washington. Furthermore, thankfully to state and local partners, forensic evidence has been seized and continues to be garnered. Forensic evidence has already been evaluated at FBI laboratories in Quantico and state and local authorities here. We will continue to process evidence as we see it, as we collect it, and we will continue to deliver it to Governor Cox and his team. Last night, we had a total of approximately 7,000 leads. As of this morning, thanks to your great work, we have over 11,000 leads that were called in to the FBI. And we are running out every single lead that we can. Every one of those leads will be run out. The arrest is a testament to the dedication of good law enforcement being great and partnerships in law enforcement, which I've tried to highlight as my tenure as the director of the FBI. There is no better relationship for law enforcement than the FBI to partner with state and local authorities, and you've seen it here in these last few days. The FBI Salt Lake Field Office, along with our offices in LA, Phoenix, Denver, San Antonio, Las Vegas, Pittsburgh, Buffalo, our headquarters component in Quantico, all participate in the FBI. I want to express my deep gratitude to the employees of the FBI, the men and women, the evidence response team tacticians, the special operators, the agents, the support staff. You have done monumental work in historic time when the public, who had a right to demand such an expeditious solving of an investigation. The FBI answered that call diligently, critically important to our nation, and we delivered. And I'm proud to be their leader, and I'm proud to be the director of the FBI. This is very much an ongoing investigation, as the governor said, and we will continue to work with state and local authorities to develop the investigation, to provide them the evidence they need for their ongoing prosecutions, and we will be here to answer every call they absolutely have, as long as it takes, for as long as we need to find and apprehend whatever suspects were involved in this crime. Lastly, to my friend Charlie Kirk, rest now, brother. We have the watch, and I'll see you in Valhalla.
Thank you, and good morning. I would just like to take a few minutes as the sheriff to express my gratitude for everybody who has played a part in this investigation. As you know, it's been a vast, a complicated, and a very, very fast-paced investigation. You're looking at people standing up here who are running on, if they got an hour's sleep in the last couple of days, they're probably lucky. It has been very taxing. It has been so impressive, speaking on behalf of the local law enforcement, to see the cooperation that we've seen in this type of case. Across the state, sheriffs, chiefs, our state partners have stepped up and have come to the call on anything that we needed. Our county chiefs have been phenomenal. Our Utah County Attorney, Jeff Gray, who's standing up here with us, has been phenomenal in leading us through this investigation. I would like to thank the federal government for their resources, their assets. Our local team here, our FBI team, has been extraordinary in helping us work through this and bring this person to justice. Most of all, I would like to thank the public, and specifically, I would like to thank the public who turned to prayers and who turned to positiveness for us. I would like to thank them on behalf of the law enforcement community, because we needed those prayers. That's what we needed to get through this. We needed your support, and you gave it to us. We needed your patience, and you gave it to us. And I would like to thank you for the Kirk family, because that's what they need, is your support and your prayers, and that will get us through all of this. So thank you, everybody, for everybody that have stepped up. We've had such a phenomenal response to this. Thank you.
Okay, you have been listening to what they had Kash Patel, the director of the FBI, Spencer Cox, the governor of Utah, the local sheriff there, press conference in Orem, Utah, in regards to the apprehension of the suspect in the assassination of Charlie Kirk. We will go ahead and just say this guy's name one time, Casey. I just think for clarification purposes, he's been identified as 22-year-old Tyler Robinson. I believe he was a student at Utah State. He was also a Utah resident. And according to the Daily Mail, now we were doing a bunch of things during the press conference too. Things are moving quickly. But according to the Daily Mail, he had confessed to his father, who was a law enforcement veteran, and his father then, along with Robinson, turned him into the authorities.
Yeah. So his father contacted the authorities, secured his son, and then took him in to the police.
All right, so that's what we know right now. There's also a mugshot. We're watching. We got the Fox News feed up. That's a thing now as well. So that is the latest on what we know right now about the suspect being apprehended in the assassination of Charlie Kirk.
You're listening to Kendall and Casey. It is 93 WIBC.
Hammer and Nigel.
The state of Texas can require voter ID for mail-in ballots.
It's not required already.
But Joe Biden got 82 million legal votes, Nigel. If you think otherwise, you might as well put the tinfoil hat on, okay? I don't think it's asking too much to have some sort of proof that you're a legal citizen in your mail-in ballot. Find a way.
Hammer and Nigel, weekdays 3 till 7 on 93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
This is Matt Baer. You've heard Dr. Nick Wilson on the weekend shows here on WIBC, and you've probably heard me talk about how much restructured chiropractic has helped me over the years. If you're dealing with daily headaches, constant neck tension, or that heavy tech neck by noon, your body's trying to tell you something. At Restructure, they don't just crack backs, they dig deeper to find what's stressing your nervous system and help you feel like yourself again. Right now, Dr. Wilson is offering you a full spine and nervous system assessment with his team. That includes your consultation, posture and nerve scans, x-rays if needed, and a customized natural health plan. Normally over $250. It's just $88 when you mention this ad. Restructured Chiropractic, the place I trust to get real results. Text relief to 317-749-0677. 317-749-0677. Check out more at berestructured.com.
Hey, guys, it's Rob. Coming up a little bit later on in the program, our guys from Life Church are going to be here because there's a big event going on September the 18th. That is next Thursday at the Lucas Estates, and it benefits Project Rescue. Now, we love Project Rescue. We talk all the time about how we donate to Project Rescue, and there's a big event that you are invited to be a part of. It's totally free of charge. It's the Hope Starts Here breakfast to benefit Project Rescue, which fights human sex trafficking across the globe. Free breakfast, chance to visit the Lucas Estates, and Life Church partnering with Project Rescue to stamp out human sex trafficking across the globe. They would love the opportunity to meet and welcome you there. Consider being a part of it. Log on to the web. Learn everything. LifeChurchIN.com.
You ever wonder why Verizon charges twice as much as Pure Talk for the same basic service? Think it might have something to do with the fact that Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotion. That's billion with a B. Yeah, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. That's why they can offer unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a blazing fast 5G network for just $25 a month. Save an additional 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say the words Micro. That's pound 250, Micro.
Of all the times to buy new Lincoln, right now is the very best time at Tom Roush Lincoln. Get 0% APR for up to 48 months on 2025 Lincoln Corsair, Nautilus, or Aviator. Plus get a $1,000 Tom Roush Trade Assist bonus. So come get that new Lincoln from Tom Roush Lincoln, where our family's been serving yours for over 53 years.
36-month, 10,000-mile per year lease. 2,500 due at signing. No security deposit required. All offers subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details. Ends 9/30/25.
Call today or go to bwindow.com and receive up to 50% off plus a free patio door.
Because at
B-Window, we mean business.
Okay, so if you're just joining us, Kendall Casey Show, I'm Rob, that's Casey. Last segment, we took you to the press conference in Orem, Utah. The governor there, Spencer Cox, spoke. Kash Patel, director of the FBI, spoke. The local sheriff there spoke about the apprehension of the suspect in the Charlie Kirk assassination. Casey, would you like to tell us sort of just very high level what we know about this individual?
Well, we know that he was a 22-year-old college student from Washington, Utah, and his parents are a law enforcement veteran and also a care worker. His father was a 27-year veteran of the Washington County Sheriff's Department. It's being reported by Daily Mail that the father actually secured his son and took him into police. His mother is a contracted employee by the state of Utah to help disabled people receive care.
You know, it's interesting because obviously this guy's name had leaked out. And I want to come back to something I talked about earlier in the program because it's very important. The guy who's in custody is not the person people were floating on the internet.
No.
And I feel so bad for that person, whether I agree with their politics or not, because that person has, for the past 12 hours or whatever, had their name floated out there as though they were an assassin of Charlie Kirk. And this comes back, and look, I say this as people were sending this to me, like well-meaning people, because the person they were sharing had some alleged indirect tie to where I live. And I was like, no, these people, these accounts that are sharing this person's name, these are not legitimate news sources. And it shows you how quick in the modern internet world in which we live, where some poor person's name can just get run through the mud for doing seemingly nothing at all, other than this person appears to have engaged at some point in a heated, spirited exchange with Charlie Kirk, which is what Charlie Kirk was doing at all of these places. And now that person's name got run through the mud and they seemingly had nothing to do with it. So I want to point that out. that this seems to happen every time there's, whether it was the Trump shooting or whatever, that these names get floated out there, and these people end up having nothing to do with the shooting. And I feel horrible for that person, because while it seems that they have a pretty strong suspect there in custody, and hopefully that person's name who was alleged to have been involved in this, who seemingly had nothing to do with it, hopefully that floats away. The internet is forever, and people will be able to see that, and that person's had to deal with this stuff for the past however many hours.
Yeah, the governor of Utah, Spencer Cox, he said that the assassin of Charlie Kirk, it is a political assassination, but it's much bigger than that. He said this is an attack on the American experiment and an attack on who we could be in better times. He said the political violence is different from any other type of violence. There are now mugshots of Charlie Kirk's assassin that have been released, and you have to... How awful the father is in that position. He did the right thing, but what a horrible choice to have to make.
Well, and this will be what's interesting, because obviously now that they've got the guy's name, you can move forward with it now because the authorities have put the guy's name out. There's a mugshot, et cetera. That is who it is. And of course, websites now are scouring for every piece of information on this young guy that they can get.
Yeah.
This will be a very interesting story to see what unfolds, because he's not some, pink-haired trans radical, right? I mean, this kid seems to the Daily Mail reporting that he, lives in this very nice house. By all accounts, it appears had a stable family upbringing. Father, a law enforcement guy. His mom seems to have had a pretty normal, good job helping other people. Indeed, if all the reporting is true that you're seeing come out, and you're looking at these family photos, what could have radicalized this kid who seems to have a pretty darn good life and had a pretty darn good upbringing, to the point, if indeed he did this, where he felt compelled to take the life of Charlie Kirk?
Yeah, it's just awful on all fronts.
And it also goes to jumping the gun.
Mm-hmm.
Because how many people were out there going, oh, I bet it was a trans this or so-and-so that? No. There's that if this guy's the guy who did it. Now, maybe he didn't act alone. Maybe there were others. It sounds like there was some, according to the governor of Utah, some level of communication with someone on Discord that helped them about him hiding the rifle, et cetera.
Right.
So we'll see what comes. Like, I'm sure they're going to just be, that's all that's going to be done over the next several weeks, is trying to find out if anybody was involved with him. But he's not what people had in their mind, if indeed this is the guy.
He was taken into custody last night around 11 o'clock. And, yeah, to your point, he lives in a $600,000 6-bedroom home.
According to the Daily Mail.
According to the Daily Mail. He was a student at Utah State University on a scholarship.
Yeah, there's videos that have popped up now, and operating that they're legitimate, not artificial intelligence, just this smiling kid his parents are on a bunch of these photos. It's not like he grew up in a broken home. I mean, that is going to be very interesting to see what comes out on why this guy felt, given what he seemingly had at his, provided to him at his fingertips and the life he was leading and the life that was in front of him, why, if indeed he did this, he felt compelled to do this. All right, well, let's take a break.
It's Kendall Casey on 93 WIBC.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Identifying the assassin. Sunny skies, 71 in downtown Indy. The high today will be 85. I'm Jarrett Lewis. Here's what's trending at 10:30. Utah Governor Spencer Cox with the latest on the suspect who's now in custody in Charlie Kirk's murder.
On the evening of September 11th, a family member of Tyler Robinson reached out to a family friend who contacted the Washington County Sheriff's Office with information that Robinson had confessed to them or implied that he had committed the incident.
Robinson is 22 and is in custody for assassinating Charlie Kirk at a Utah campus on Wednesday. The FBI holding their press conference now. They said they were able to use video footage from campus and the surrounding area of Utah Valley University to identify Robinson as the suspect. FBI Director Kash Patel confirmed that the arrest was made at 10 p.m. last night, Utah time. An appeals court says the Trump administration can continue to block Medicaid funds to Planned Parenthood while the case works its way through the legal system.
The Boston-based First Circuit Court of Appeals is clearing the way for the Trump administration to implement part of his tax and spending bill that would deprive Planned Parenthood of Medicaid funding. The appeals court has put on hold a July injunction by a lower court judge that said the law likely violated the Constitution by targeting Planned Parenthood for providing abortions. Planned Parenthood, which also offers medical services like contraception, pregnancy tests, and STD testing, released a statement saying more than 1 million patients would now be unable to use Medicaid at its centers and vows to continue to fight the law. Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
I'm Jarrett Lewis on The Level on the Go and on WIBC.com.
20 ribeyes for $35. That's 20 ribeyes for $35 at 2 locations in Indianapolis going on now. 20 ribeyes for only $35 at the corner of South Emerson and Thompson Road. Just look for the big truck. Also in the parking lot across the street from Perry Meridian 6th Grade Academy. Also on the big truck is cases of T-bones, fillets, New York strips, burgers, and a whole lot more. Big truck sale. Marinated chicken breasts too. Don't wait. Big steak sale at 2 different locations at the corner of South Emerson and Thompson Road. Also in the Hardee's parking lot on Meridian across from Perry Meridian 6th Grade Academy. 20 ribeyes for just $35. Don't wait. Everything must go. Big truck sale. That's 20 ribeyes for $35 at the corner of South Emerson and Thompson Road. Also in the Hardee's parking lot on Meridian across from Perry Meridian 6th Grade Academy. Get there before the truck is gone.
Transform your home with Galaxy Concrete Coatings. You can say goodbye to cracked, stained, and dirty old floors and hello to durable, stunning surfaces that last. Their cutting-edge technology ensures a beautiful finish every time, and you get to pick out the color. Upgrade your home today by calling Galaxy Concrete Coatings. They're for garage floors, driveways, pool decks, and patios. And they come with a lifetime warranty and 1-day professional installation. The phone number, 877-417-0635. You can find them online, too. GalaxyConcreteCoatings.com.
As our loved ones age, ensuring their safety at home becomes a top priority. This is Tina McIntosh, president of Joyce House and co-host of the Caregiver Crossing radio program. I'll be right back with some practical things you can do to reduce the possibility of a fall or injury.
Cardon & Associates provides residents with the best senior living options and personalized service. Visit cardon.us to find a community near you.
Removing tripping hazards such as rugs and floor clutter is one way to prevent or minimize falls around the home. Another is to position grab bars in the restroom and other common areas where your loved one may need some extra support. Contact your local area agency on aging to inquire about low-cost or free installation services. More tips like this are available anytime at caregivercrossingradio.org. With new weekly content created by Joyce House and distributed in partnership with Network Indiana, we're an on-air and online support group for Hoosier family caregivers. Hear conversations with experts, access a library of online education, and more at caregivercrossingradio.org.
Fall is in full swing at Sundown Gardens. Locally grown mums and pumpkins plus fall annuals and decor. 186th Street, Spring Mill Road in Westfield. It's sundown.gardens.com.
If you stopped paying your financial advisor, would they still be your friend? A different look at retirement planning with Greg Ayler. Sunday mornings at 7 on WIBC.
See, you hit on something interesting with this shooter in the Charlie Kirk assassination, who is in custody. If you're just tuning in this hour, there was a press conference. It looks like it's still ongoing, in fact, involving the governor of Utah, Kash Patel, FBI director, the local sheriff there in Orem, Utah.
The suspect has been booked into the Utah County Jail.
That's right. So the person is caught, and whether he acted alone or not, we don't know. But it appears, according to Daily Mail and others, that it was his father, who is a longtime law enforcement veteran, who turned him in.
Yes.
And you made an interesting point where the federal government has made it very clear they're going for the death penalty on this kid.
Yes.
Now, whether it's the state of Utah, I don't know if they have the death penalty.
They do.
They do. Whether they join in on that, don't know. But it really doesn't matter what the state of Utah does. The federal government's going to do it. They're going to do it. That father,
who is worked at the sheriff's department for 27 years, he knows what the consequences.
and he made the choice to turn his son in.
Correct.
I think that, I mean, in a story in which there's so many fascinating aspects to it, coming back to, again, why of all the people in the world you'd think you felt compelled to kill, that Charlie Kirk would be at the top of that list, that blows my mind to begin with. They have now, by the way, concluded that press conference there in Orem, Utah. That is the first thing to me that I will be just very interested to find out about what it was about Charlie Kirk, of all the people in the world. Not that there's an excuse to kill anyone, but of all the people in the world, that this was, the first guy, this alleged suspect, if indeed he was the shooter, felt compelled to go after. But also then, at some point, the old man figures out, hey, that's my kid.
Yeah, I've heard people mentioning there was a head tilt, that it was body language.
Yeah, you know your kid, though.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that Gabrielle and I were talking about this last night when they had that press conference. It's amazing to me he was able to evade, even for a couple of days, in
33 hours.
In the modern world where everything is photographed and everything is filmed, and the fact that they had this guy ahead of time, and it took kind of that long for everybody to put the pieces together on who it was, that was interesting to me. But all that being said, at some point there, can you imagine what that conversation in that house was like between the suspect and his dad?
Right. And that father's grieving twice now.
Yeah, I mean, he's basically sending his son to an execution.
Yep.
Walking him in there, he knew, if indeed the son did it, what is going to happen. And to his credit, he did the right thing for society. I mean, he probably knew deep down, hey, they're going to figure out who it is, and you're going to get caught anyway. And he probably didn't want his son to get hurt, but he figured this is not going to end well if we don't do it this way. And what a horrible position for that guy to have to be in.
Yeah. So they're reporting that they noticed that he had become more political in recent times, and that he had expressed his dislike for Kirk. And you have to think, like, that parent is thinking, this horrific, awful thing happened. It happened in Utah. My son has recently expressed dislike for this person.
Yeah, but okay, let's stop there, though. I expressed dislike for Charlie Kirk over him trying to, what I felt was bully our lawmakers on redistricting.
Redistricting.
At any point, did you think, boy, Rob's going to do something crazy? No, of course not.
No.
So, I don't even know.
But that goes back to a parent knows their child.
It does. But, look, he was a high-profile political figure, public figure. You're going to have people that strongly dislike you, and that's okay. Those people who went to go fight with him on those campuses.
Well, the difference is Charlie Kirk offered his people who objected to him a microphone.
Sure. But again, let's come back to it, because the reason I'm bringing this up is, like, that lawmaker in Higgins, is that his name? The U.S. rep. There's a U.S. rep that is going to try
Clay Higgins
Clay
from
Higgins.
Louisiana.
Thank you. Who is going to try to get all the people who are celebrating Charlie Kirk's death kicked off social media, and then they're going to go after, what do you say, their employers or
their licenses.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Being a scumbag is allowed in our society as long as you don't harm other people. You can be a disgusting piece of garbage as long as you don't harm other people and you have the right to exist. And yet guys like that, when it was their side being suppressed, they were up in arms and livid as they should have been. But now they want to do the same thing to the other side because they feel like because Musk owns Twitter, the momentum's on their side. Like,
he's vowed to lobby for zero tolerance of violent political content on tech platforms.
Okay, but there's a difference between, as gross as we think it is, and as how society should totally reject these people, and society should police itself in the sense of not giving them jobs or opportunities or et cetera. It's not the government's job, same way as it's not the government's job to police flag burning, which is a bad thing. But you should still be allowed to do it as long as you're not harming other people. People can celebrate bad news or horrible things happening to other people. Of course it's wrong. But like we always just jump, right? No matter the moment of the thing of the moment, and then we just jump based on that. And the same way, there's a lot of leftist people who had very spirited engagements with Charlie Kirk who didn't do anything wrong. They had spirited back and forth with him. They conversed with them in the platform that was provided to them, which he provided. Mm-hmm. Because one of the things I was amazed about, I have a friend who works in the political nonprofit world. And I saw them yesterday, and we chatted for about an hour. And he pointed out to me, now, I don't know the structure of the actual entity, so it could be things I'm not seeing. And he showed me on paper and the Turning Point's filings how little money Charlie Kirk actually made on paper, according to these filings. It was like $300,000. It was an insanely low amount of money. Now, the trips, the benefits, all those other things paid for. Mm-hmm. But if indeed that's accurate, you think of this guy being like this multi-gajillionaire guy. He really was kind of out there doing it for the love of the debate, the love of the conversation, the love of freedom of speech. And I think that says a lot about him. That not that amount of money is anything to sneeze at, but and he did have as my understanding, a nice condo and things like that. But he was not this Zuckerberg type of figure. Mm-hmm. He really, for the grief he got and the danger clearly that he put himself in, this guy wasn't really doing it for the money. He was doing it for the cause. This guy being Charlie Kirk.
It's being reported that Ben Shapiro is going to step in to Turning Point.
Well, they're kind of competitors, aren't they?
Yeah.
So that's going to be interesting on how that works. But my question...
To see if that's legitimate.
Well, my question is going to be, how can you, if you're one of these people who is a part of these organizations, how can you possibly have outdoor events going forward? Like, I'm sorry, but clearly they cannot be secured. They just simply can't. Even the President of the United States clearly has problems securing outdoor events. Nobody's fault. When people have the ability to get on roofs and you've got a wide range that you got to secure, it just creates a whole different...
It's a different level of threat assessment.
Right.
That you have to go through.
And I'm the last guy that says we should give in to fear, clearly. Well, I've talked about this at length. Like, I'm not going to stop talking. I'm not going to stop doing the things that I do. I'm also not on the level of those people. Mm-hmm. But I don't think I would do the events like they do. But I don't think that makes me a coward. I think being smart and reinventing the wheel doesn't make you a coward. I think you got to find new ways to do this to ensure the safety of the people participating in them.
Yeah.
Think about like our rally that we had at the State House, which is a fraction of what Charlie Kirk did when we did the property tax rally. One of the things that we factored into the equation, because they knew so many people were going to be there, they said, hey, maybe we ought to take it outside and do it on the steps. Now, a variety of reasons went into us not doing that. And I'm not saying this was the only reason, but one of the things, you and I talked about it when, Micah's office, who helped us at the time, when we talked about this, one of the things we factored in is we can police it so much better
inside
in the State House, because everybody's going to go through a metal detector. Everybody, the state police are all right there. Right. We did have people who got squirrely at the event. They were quickly escorted, out of the property. And for the safety, not just of us,
but the elected officials
and everybody involved, the other people who were there, we decided, again, there were other reasons that went into it, but I'm saying this is one of the things we really considered. We decided to have it indoors, and that ended up working out well. So I don't think saying we're not going to do outdoor events anymore. I don't think saying we're going to have them in these arenas or whatever I don't think that makes you a coward or give in. I think it makes you work smart to ensure the safety, learning, and ensuring the safety going forward.
Yeah. There were a lot of lawmakers coming out yesterday saying that they wouldn't be attending any outdoor events. I think Nancy Mace was one of them. She was saying that she was going to be carrying now everywhere she goes from now on.
Yeah. All right. Let's take a break. Hammer's next.
It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Coming up on Tony Katz today, President Trump says there's a suspect in custody involved in the assassination of Charlie Kirk. After the news at noon on 93 WIBC.
When people think sleep apnea, they think CPAP. Now at Advent, we do all we can to help sleep apnea sufferers avoid the CPAP machine. And most sleep apnea sufferers who come to Advent are going to be able to avoid a CPAP altogether. Our unique Advent approach using simple in-office solutions can get your nose working and throat open all under one roof. You see, the root of every snoring and obstructive sleep apnea problem lies within the throat, nose, or both. At Advent, we know when we get the nose and throat working properly, most snoring and sleep apnea problems will subside. And we have the most simple and convenient, ultra-effective in-office solutions that can do just that. And this is why people have traveled by planes, trains, and automobiles from corners of the world you would never think of to find the sleep apnea and snoring relief you won't find elsewhere.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. AdventKnows.com. Most insurance accepted.
So what's in the bag today? Yesterday's leftovers? Another lunch meat sandwich? Well, go ahead and pull up a rock and settle in for a half hour of I wish I was eating something else. Or you could be eating something else, or someplace else. If you're brown bagging it at the corner of 30th and Shadeland area, drop over to His Place Eatery for 30 minutes of why didn't I know about this place sooner? Nothing fancy, not a lot of frills. They save that for the quality of the meal. Like ribs that fall off the bone, southern fried chicken, sides that will cause your taste buds to thank you into tomorrow. Put that in your brown bag and eat it. Better yet, bank the bag. Go to His Place Eatery at the corner of 30th and Shadeland or the newest location off 86th and Ditch Road. Your dirty boots and work clothes are welcome here. His Place, your place for lunch. Go to hisplaceeatery.com to learn more.
When it comes to your home, it's important to sell it to someone you can trust. Simple Quarters has helped over 3,000 families sell their homes in Indiana.
I'm excited to start the new chapter of my life. I'm going to be moving 2 states away to be with my husband. Ronnie came out to do my walkthrough. It was great. We had a chance to talk about the house. We had a chance to listen to what my goals were, and they helped me to meet them. Then I had the offer, I believe, within 2 hours of them coming through and doing the walkthrough. Simple Quarters never tried to change their offer at any point during the process. Once they gave me that offer, it stood. The offer was absolutely fair. They did explain to me how they came to that price, and it was a fair offer. The best part about this process is I didn't have to make any repairs to the house. Simple Quarters has taken it as is, which is a huge stress relief. It just couldn't have worked out better. It really couldn't have.
Call Simple Quarters 317-900-HOME. 317-900-HOME.
Attention, Indiana homeowners. Are you tired of avoiding your wet basement? Hi, I'm Mike Smith with Swain Co. Crawl Space and Basement Repair, your real, local, Indiana family-owned experts. Imagine all the possibilities of a guaranteed dry basement, a cozy new family room, a home gym, or even a new office. And with no interest, no payment financing, you don't have to break the bank to do it. Make the most of your basement today. Call Swain Co. 317-407-1868 or swaincollc.com.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Severe from Vicks.
Sinex Severe nasal spray.
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Severe instantly relieves nasal congestion and works 6 times faster than nasal decongestant tablets. The 12 hours of relief allow you to get back to the moments that matter without congestion.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Try Sinex Severe from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
The Suburban Indie Home and Outdoor Living Show.
September 19th through 21st at Grand Park.
Shop, compare, and save with over 200 trusted experts.
Tickets are $7 at suburbanindieshows.com.
More tariffs later, tornadoes possible.
WIBC.com gives you more than just headlines. It's context, updates, and insight. Whether you're at work, on the move, or catching up late, the latest is already there. Stay in the know while you're on the go at WIBC.com.
So you just said something a quote that I think is interesting because it was a debate. Jason Hammer is here from the Hammer and Nigel show. Pleasure to see you.
Hello.
By the way, the kickers totally screwed you last night in that Packers Redskins game.
3 straight possessions, missed field goals, 2 doinks and a miss. If just one of them goes through, I get a push.
Yeah,
I get my money back.
You had the over 48.
Again, I felt like I was on the right side of that. 3 straight missed kicks.
Yeah.
Of course it is. Rinse and repeat.
Yeah, absolutely. The kickers hate you. But so one of the things you do, our old pal, the coach, Dan Dockich, has that Outkick program. He does mornings on the Outkick podcasting network. And you guys got into an interesting discussion about the dad who has apparently turned in the assassin in the Charlie Kirk shooting.
Right. Because the old man worked in the sheriff's department for over 20 years, and it sounds like he wanted to be the one to make sure he was secure and took him to the police.
Right.
Right? That was important to him. So the question that was brought to the table was, could you turn in your own son? And are there degrees to that, right? Because I've said, and I said this on the show this morning, I would turn in my son if they murdered an innocent person. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I would have no problem doing that.
You'd
I
have a
failed as
problem
father.
doing it, but you would do it.
Right. I have failed as a father if one of my kids murders in cold blood an innocent person.
Right.
So I would take them in for that. But if it's a victimless crime, if he robs a bank, maybe there's a gray area there.
Wait. If your kid pulls a gun on somebody and robs a bank, that's a victimless crime?
And then what if it was an awful drug dealer or a heinous murderer that they killed? Like, let's say, heaven forbid this happens, somebody kills me. Okay, we'll just use myself. Somebody kills me, and then one of my kids goes and finds my killer and kills him.
Like an avenge killing.
An avenge killing.
Yeah.
Like, situation like that, I might help. I might be willing to go to jail harboring a felon a little bit, but I think there are degrees to it. I'm just being honest with you.
Sure.
I totally agree with you, and I think most people would. However, I do find it interesting that robbing a bank is a victimless crime in your mind.
And I mean, now if you shoot and kill somebody in the bank robbery, that's different. But I'm willing to set it off. Let's go.
Jeez, Hammer.
I've thought about it.
Robbing a bank?
No, I've watched enough movies to figure out how to get away with it.
Oh, you think you could rob a bank and get away with it? In the modern era?
I think if I put enough time into it, I might be able to. Now watch me get charged with every bank robbery here in central Indiana over the last 5. This is the one time Ryan Mears is going to get tough, right? We've charged Jason Hammer with every bank robbery in central Indiana. No, but
modern day Dillinger.
The problem with those bank robberies, though, is you have to be willing to harm people, and that's
right.
the gray area, right?
Yeah.
I don't want anybody harmed.
Okay. That's all this.
People have robbed banks with candy bars before.
That's true. Well, remember in Field of Dreams, you said your finger was a gun.
Yes, right. Exactly.
Could you, let's say, Emily.
If my son robbed a bank with a candy bar, it would be a real tough decision on whether or not I would turn him in.
That's fascinating. How about you? Could you turn your kid in if they did something bad?
If they did something bad like that, yeah. I mean, honestly, I would probably do myself in because I don't think I could emotionally handle it.
What do you mean by that?
I would want to disappear myself.
Kill yourself?
Well, just run away, hide, whatever. I mean, I can't imagine the grief that dad is going through.
Right.
I mean, it's nothing compared to the grief of the family of Charlie Kirk, but my goodness, because as you said, you failed as a parent, and then you're grieving that they could do something so heinous, and then you're turning them in at, it's just, the level is just beyond, I think, what my little brain could handle.
And Rob, you said this earlier, what's so fascinating about this, and again, kudos to the dad, he knows that even though he wanted his son to be secure, taking him to the police, you're taking him to his execution. Because they are going to hit him with the death penalty. And this is a big deal. Trump and that Department of Justice, they're going to make sure this kid gets the death penalty.
Can you come back to next segment because, you got stuff going on. Well, we'll talk about your interview with Braun next then because we started earlier in the show and I want to get to that again because I thought that interview was, you guys did a great job with that. And that stuff he said about Jennifer Ruth Green was unbelievable.
Thank you. I'm going to go rob a bank.
Please don't.
I'm joking.
Please don't.
Ryan Mears, don't make me the one guy you get tough on.
It's Kendall Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Garage Doors of Indianapolis is everything that's right about Central Indiana. They've been locally family-owned for 50 years, helping our local economy remain strong by employing 70 families. Garage Doors of Indianapolis is proud to do business right here in the great state of Indiana. They're a conservative-minded company that shares our values and stands by their products and services. You can call Garage Doors of Indianapolis today for service today. 875-4577, 875-4577, or visit doorstoday.com.
Summer is here, and that means it's time for new flooring in your home. Brothers Floor Covering is ready to help. Brand new carpet, hardwoods, laminates, and luxury vinyl plank in stock now. Plus, Brothers Floor Covering can get your new flooring installed in as little as 2 weeks. Visit Brothers Floor Covering today at their new location, 8550 North Michigan Road. Discover why buying local means getting more, not paying more. Get the flooring of your dreams installed now. Go to brothers-floorcovering.com. That's brothers-floorcovering.com.
Grown-ups, don't go back to school. Go forward through school into your future as an IT professional. Whether you're starting out, switching careers, or a veteran ready for change, My Computer Career can help you get into IT in just a few short months with no prior experience. So take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu. Your rewarding career in IT awaits. That's mycomputercareer.edu, an elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including the VA benefits.
Are you ready to build your custom dream home? Joyner Homes is ready to make your dream come true. Over 18 years, Joyner Homes, based out of Greenfield, have built hundreds of homes in central Indiana, and the best place to start is joynerhomes.com. That's where you'll find pricing, photos of completed Joyner homes to inspire you, available home sites, and info on where you can visit their model homes, and a lot more. Be sure to check out Joyner Homes' 5-star Google reviews. Get started today at joynerhomes.com.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Of all the times to buy new Lincoln, right now is the very best time at Tom Roush Lincoln. Get 0% APR for up to 48 months on 2025 Lincoln Corsair, Nautilus, or Aviator. Plus get a $1,000 Tom Roush Trade Assist bonus. So come get that new Lincoln from Tom Roush Lincoln, where our family's been serving yours for over 53 years.
36-month, 10,000-mile-per-year lease. 2,500 due at signing. No security deposit required. All offers subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details. Ends 9/30/25.
Millions of fans agree. This Christmas Tradition Orchestra, live in concert, presenting The Ghost of Christmas Eve.
Electrical. Remember the man for all seasons, and now more reasons. Chapman. ChapmanHeating.com.
Call today or go to bwindow.com and receive up to 50% off plus a free patio door.
Because at
B-Window, we mean business.
In 2 minutes from the Technology Recycler Studios, the FBI and the Utah governor updating us on the suspect they've identified in Charlie Kirk's assassination. What county judge in Indiana is now permanently banned? Just how hot will it get for this weekend across the state, and how the Fever feel heading into their first-round playoff matchup with the Atlanta Dream. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 11 o'clock.
This is a Fox News alert. The suspected Charlie Kirk killer captured. I'm Dave Anthony.
This is what happens when you let good cops be cops.
And FBI Director Kash Patel says they caught him 33 hours after the Kirk assassination.
The FBI and our partners are proud to stand here today together to bring justice to the family of Charlie Kirk and honor his memory.
The suspected gunman's name is Tyler Robinson. He's not a student at Utah Valley University, where Charlie Kirk was murdered while the conservative activist was addressing a big crowd on Wednesday. As for the capture, Utah Governor Spencer Cox says
a family member of Tyler Robinson reached out to a family friend who contacted the Washington County Sheriff's Office with information that Robinson had confessed to them or implied that he had committed the incident.
A roommate for Robinson was also assisting assisting police in the investigation. The governor says a relative told them Robinson had gotten more political lately.
Robinson mentioned Charlie Kirk was coming to UVU. They talked about why they didn't like him and the viewpoints that he had. The family member also stated Kirk was full of hate and spreading hate.
Cox says there was writing on unfired shell casings found. One read, "Hey, fascist, catch." President Trump first broke the news about the capture on TV 3 hours ago.
I hope he gets the death penalty. What he did, Charlie Kirk was the finest person. He didn't deserve this.
Now, the president also told Fox and Friends Washington, D.C. remains crime-free after his crackdown with troops and federal agents, and he's going to Memphis next.
A city he calls deeply troubled with crime, where he says he's also got support to help crack down on it.
The mayor is happy, and the governor, Tennessee, the governor is happy. Deeply troubled. We're going to fix that just like we did Washington.
No word yet on logistics or timing for a troop surge to Memphis. The president saying he preferred going to Chicago, though faced resistance from Democrats. Mayor Brandon Johnson, Governor J.B. Pritzker, and what he calls professional agitators.
That's Fox's Jeff Manasso. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
We now know who he is. Skies are sunny at 74 on Monument Circle, a high of 85 today. I'm Jarrett Lewis. This report brought to you by Window Nation. Here's what's trending at 11:02. Utah Governor Spencer Cox identifying the suspect in the assassination of Charlie Kirk as 22-year-old Utah resident Tyler Robinson. He added that a family member of Robinson went to police with the information.
I think we need more moral clarity right now. I hear all the time that words are violence. Words are not violence. Violence is violence. And there is one person responsible for what happened here.
Kirk died after being shot in the neck at a Turning Point event at Utah Valley University. Cox described what some of the messages written on the unspent rounds read.
Inscriptions on the 3 unfired casings read, "Hey, fascist!" ! Catch! !
President Trump first made the announcement of the suspect being in custody during an interview with Fox News this morning. A judge is relieved of his duties. Janet Cruz reports.
The Indiana Supreme Court's decision to permanently ban Howard County Judge Matthew J. Elkin has shed a light on his behavior, which included making inappropriate comments and showing favoritism. His actions have even led to the temporary suspension of the Howard County problem-solving court programs for nonviolent offenders, as this behavior directly undermined their intended purpose of a collaborative approach. His conduct, according to the Supreme Court, was the reason new participants could not be accepted into the program, highlighting how his actions contradicted the core mission of these specialty courts. Elkin is the first judge dismissed in Indiana since 2014. Janet Cruz, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Starting Saturday, temperatures will be climbing into the mid-90s, and you'll definitely feel it. Forecaster Casey Fuson with the National Weather Service, though, says it won't have that heavy midsummer feel.
Luckily, given that we've got that drier air than we did back in July, we're not really seeing anything crazy in terms of heat indices. The heat indices might max out at maybe a couple of degrees more than what the actual temperature is.
She says there is a chance for light rain on Sunday, but nothing too serious. The Indiana Fever with a chance to relax ever since clinching a WNBA playoff spot, despite having 5 players out with season-ending injuries. They will play the Atlanta Dream in a playoff series that begins on Sunday. And the Colts are hosting back-to-back games to start the season. They'll take on the Denver Broncos at 4 o'clock Eastern Time from Lucas Oil Stadium. Everyone is encouraged to wear white for the game. I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Why do so many foundation, basement, and crawl space companies ask for half your money up front? Could it be because that's easier to get than earning all your trust? At the Michaelis Corporation, they believe trust is earned, not demanded. That's why they do things differently. They start with a free inspection, no strings attached, to give you an honest assessment of what your home needs. No pressure, no surprises. When it's time for the work, they don't ask for a deposit or any upfront payment. Not a single dollar until the job is complete and you're 100% satisfied. That's how they've been earning trust for over 39 years. Whether it's sagging floors, moisture control, concrete repair, or a full crawl space encapsulation, you can count on Michaelis for repairs that last. Don't trust just anyone with your home. Choose the company that puts your trust first. Text or call 844-FIXED-INDY today. That's 844-FIXED-INDY. The Michaelis Corporation, building trust beneath your feet.
This hour is powered by Sundown Gardens, Hamilton County's fall nursery headquarters.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
All right, so let's get everybody up to date on what we know. It's been an eventful morning in terms of details coming out involving the assassination of Charlie Kirk. So here's what we know from the press conference that took place last hour. It involved the governor of Utah, Kash Patel, the director of the FBI, and the local sheriff there in Utah County. It's pretty wild. They have a Utah County, Utah. So they have the alleged shooter in custody. He is 22 years old. He was a student at Utah State University. And then the really interesting part about this is that his father was a 27-year law enforcement professional, and his father is the one who turned him in to the authorities. So at some point, his father becomes aware, hey, that my kid is allegedly the shooter, and makes the gut-wrenching choice, obviously, to turn his kid in, knowing he's likely facing the death penalty.
Yeah, the assassin had messaged his roommate on Discord about picking up a rifle from a drop-off point, and he said that the rifle was wrapped in a towel, and that's exactly where authorities found the rifle. But this is how the press conference started this morning.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We got him. On the evening of September 11th, a family member of Tyler Robinson reached out to a family friend who contacted the Washington County Sheriff's Office with information that Robinson had confessed to them or implied that he had committed the incident. This information was relayed to the Utah County Sheriff's Office and scene investigators at Utah Valley University. This information was also conveyed to the FBI. Investigators reviewed additional video footage from UVU surveillance and identified Robinson arriving on UVU campus in a gray Dodge Challenger at approximately 8:29 a.m. on September 10th.
So he was taken into custody around 10 p.m. last night, which is explains why Donald Trump had a bit of high degree of certainty when he was on Fox and Friends this morning.
Yeah, so obviously there's a lot that is unknown right now, including did this guy do this by himself? Were there others who assisted? Were there others who may have known about it? Obviously, I'm sure that's what they're trying to put together at this point. And then the obvious question becomes, why? What made Charlie Kirk the target of this hatred and rage that this individual is alleged to have had, if indeed he is the shooter, which they seem pretty confident they've got the right guy, but the government's lied before, Casey. So, everybody's entitled to a presumption of innocence until guilt is proven. But if indeed this kid is the shooter, coming from the seemingly high-quality upbringing that he had from the standpoint of his parents, it's a nuclear family. Both parents are still together. Very nice house. Both parents had stable jobs. You see these photos of them, the kids, multiple kids, brothers, they all appear very happy. What led this person, who seemingly had this very good life, to have such rage that they felt they needed to kill anyone, much less Charlie Kirk?
Law enforcement described him as someone who blended in well with the college institution, and that they used video footage to track him down.
Yeah, I mean,
that was really instrumental.
They came out last night, and there's clear evidence of him on what appears to be him on the roof and getting off the roof and going into the woods. And so that's what we know right now. Throughout the course of the hour, if more details become available, and I'm sure Tony will at noon, let you know the latest on what we know. I wanted to talk about something else, though, yesterday. We mentioned it early in the program, but I think it's really important because obviously people, and rightfully so, are very focused on the assassination of Charlie Kirk, but there's a lot of stuff going on in our state right now, and we can't take our eyes off of that because that stuff dramatically affects your existence. And one of the things that was interesting yesterday is that the governor, Mike Braun, went on with Hammer and Nigel, and they asked him directly about the resignation of Jennifer Ruth Green, the public safety secretary. Now, I know most people know, but just a reset of in case you're not aware. So Jennifer Ruth Green, a failed congressional candidate, ran for the 1st Congressional District a couple of years ago. That's in the region. Lost, but then in the process became this anointed sort of rising star in the Republican Party. I never got it. I never understood it. I talked to many people who knew her. They said, we don't get it either. But for whatever reason, she was the chosen child to be the rising star in the Republican Party. She gets this cush $275,000 a year job as the public safety secretary as part of Braun's cabinet. And then out of nowhere, the governor announces the Now, okay, so I guess I can say this now because Braun sort of stooged on himself with this. I got wind before Friday that there were alleged ethics violations going on related to Jennifer Ruth Green. And I get stuff all the time, and it's like, okay, well, what do I do with this? Where do I start? And then a couple days later, the resignation was announced on a Friday afternoon. Now, her resignation was announced on a Friday afternoon, and we said, First of all, I had that in my back pocket. It's like, oh my gosh, my source appears to be spot on. Because they didn't say she was quitting. They said alleged ethics violations going on related to Jennifer Ruth Green and an inspector general's investigation. And so when they made that announcement, who was first to come out and go, Casey?
Yeah, that was you.
Yeah, that's right. I said, no way I'm letting this go because I got too much info on the down low and nobody just skadoodles out the door that they want to know skadoodle out the door on a Friday afternoon.
Well, I think the part that really upset you was the fact that on Saturday, Governor Braun tweeted out and said, I want to thank Jennifer Ruth Green for her service in my cabinet. She was a part of a transformative time in Indiana's history, and we wish her the best of luck on her next endeavor.
Yeah, I said, no.
There's nothing in that message about we had to make a change.
Right. He tried to, knowing what I knew on background, I knew that there was more to this story, and he seemingly was covering it up by what he was saying. Then Monday, I'm trying to put all these days together. Monday, multiple sources told me there definitely was an inspector general investigation. She definitely had issues related to ethics, and she was voluntold on Friday, you out of here, see ya. And we weren't going to let that go, so we broke the story that was going on. And then on Tuesday, the Indiana Capital Chronicle came out with the big expose filling in all the dots on everything. And so Braun went on with Hammer and Nigel yesterday, got asked about her resignation, and said this.
You've had some changes in staff. Jennifer Ruth Green out of the public safety area. Anthony Scott in. Take us through why Jennifer Ruth Green is out and Anthony Scott is in.
So whenever you're getting into employee issues and you're in government, it's very clear what you need to do. There's a process that you follow, and you follow it to the T, and we did in this case. So when there was someone that she hired within her department that raised an issue about how it was being run, you go to an inspector general, or you're going to then involve eventually maybe even ethics to see if things were done. So whenever we had that complaint, it triggered the process.
Just pause. We'll play it, finish playing in a second. First of all, he's trying to treat it like she's some low-level state employee hiding in the basement of the Indiana Government Center. Sir, she was a member of your cabinet. You can tell her to get lost at any time you want. He didn't have to do any of that. And the problem is, we know he knew about it because she signed this remediation agreement that began in June. I think it was signed in July. She admitted to doing a bunch of stuff in that remediation agreement.
Yes, it was signed in July, and that allowed her to remain in her role pending the Inspector General's investigation.
She's a cabinet person. She's wholly political. You put her in there because of politics. She's clearly invested in protecting your political reputation. They could have kicked her out at any time they wanted. So Braun tries to act like, well, I had to go. See, they always do this without saying the things. They try to make you think things. Just like when Jennifer Ruth Green, after she got voluntold to go, put that photo out of her in the Army uniform. That's the other thing that pissed me off, Casey. She put that photo of herself in the military uniform out. Like, I got to go to military service, trying to act like she's Jim Banks who had to go to Afghanistan. I was like, That's National Guard.
That wasn't a long-term deployment.
Yeah, and they were manipulating people. That's exactly what she was doing. And Casey will back me up on this.
Mm-hmm.
It's never actually the thing. It's the lying about the thing that drives me insane.
Yeah.
So for Braun to try to act like that, I had to go through all these things. He could have gotten rid of her at any time.
Mm-hmm.
He knew exactly what she was doing. She knew exactly what she was alleged of. He didn't need that Inspector General's investigation. It allowed him to delay the process of getting rid of her because they knew they had a huge problem on their hands. Go ahead, Kev.
It triggered the process of doing that, and they came back with their report not too long ago, and then in doing it, found some other things that involved the ethics side of it and other issues that will be looked at. But it was done with full process. We did it according to the way you need to do it. And when we found out what the results were, because she had a good track record. I mean, she was a cybersecurity expert on parts of the job, was doing fine. But this came up, and then we followed the process, and we will fully and transparently the rest of the way out.
You know who is also a cybersecurity expert? My wife. Why don't you put her in charge, Mr. Braun? Of course.
Don't volunteer her for that.
Of course he's not going to do that. They picked her because it was a political appointment.
He said she had a good track record. She'd only been in the position for 8 months, right?
And by the Capitol Chronicles account, it was almost a train wreck from the word go.
So apparently there is a state employee who has confirmed being interviewed by attorneys about ethics violations.
And real quick, let's remind everybody who Braun put in her place. Anthony Scott, who is the state police superintendent, Anthony Scott, when he became state police superintendent, the Tom Kleinhelter investigation. Tom Kleinhelter, the Du Bois County sheriff, close political ally with Governor Braun, who was facing an 80-page probable cause affidavit under the previous police superintendent, Doug Carter. That just went away. And not only did it go away, the person who investigated the case, Jeff Herron, faced serious disciplinary action for things he did in the investigation. A distinguished, well-thought-of 30-plus year professional. So, isn't that wild that his little problem went away, and the guy who was state police superintendent as the other potential problem, Tom Kleinhelter, went away, got promoted to this awesome position. Isn't that funny how that worked out, Casey?
Is Scott going to remain as superintendent?
I don't know. Who knows?
Can he do both? Secretary of Public Safety and Superintendent of Police.
Here's what I do know. There is a downtown Indianapolis landmark that is getting a major upgrade, Casey.
New seats.
Yeah, we'll talk about it when we come back.
It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Sun's up, the coffee is brewing, and Tony Katz is your morning information barista.
Tony Katz, good to be with you.
Clarity.
We're not interested in having this debate. We're only interested in honestly addressing the issue.
Context.
We should not present this in any other light. The objective is the destruction of Western civilization.
And a little caffeine.
Only the Constitution should rule.
Tony Katz in the Morning News. Weekdays 6 till 9 on 93 WIBC.
Everyone's talking about Galaxy Concrete Coating and their transformation, like your neighbor Mike.
Well, the local company that we used first was highly recommended by people in our neighborhood. We did not know until after it didn't work on our floor. It just healed up like a cheap suit. And so my wife says, we got to do something. And so she started looking around on the internet and she found Galaxy.
Lots of styles to choose from, 4 times stronger than epoxy, and it comes with a lifetime warranty.
We got Galaxy out here. They got here at about 8 o'clock in the morning and they finished up at 6 o'clock that night. Other than having a beautiful garage floor, you couldn't tell they were here. Just did a wonderful job on it.
Galaxy Concrete Coatings works for any area like patios, garage floors, driveways, and around pools.
Still looks fantastic, and anybody that visits our house, that's all they want to talk about. I mean, they just can't believe how nice the garage floor looks.
Click on GalaxyConcreteCoatings.com and remember to like us on Facebook, GalaxyConcreteCoatings.com. We are out of this world.
20 ribeyes for $35. That's 20 ribeyes for $35 at 2 locations in Indianapolis going on now. 20 ribeyes for only $35 at the corner of South Emerson and Thompson Road. Just look for the big truck. Also in the parking lot across the street from Perry Meridian 6th Grade Academy. Also on the big truck is cases of T-bones, fillets, New York strips, burgers, and a whole lot more. Big truck sale. Marinated chicken breasts too. Don't wait. Big steak bake sale at 2 different locations at the corner of South Emerson and Thompson Road. Also in the Hardee's parking lot on Meridian across from Perry Meridian 6th Grade Academy. 20 ribeyes for just $35. Don't wait. Everything must go. Big truck sale. That's 20 ribeyes for $35 at the corner of South Emerson and Thompson Road. Also in the Hardee's parking lot on Meridian across from Perry Meridian 6th Grade Academy. Get there before the truck is gone.
Call today or go to bwindow.com and receive up to 50% off plus a free patio door.
Because at
B-Window, we mean business.
Talking baseball, Klazuski, Campanella, talking baseball. The man and Bobby Feller, the scooter.
Casey, there are some major upgrades coming to an iconic downtown Indianapolis destination.
Yes, there are, and I can't wait to hear all the details from the horse's mouth.
That's right. So if you haven't heard, Victory Field, one of the crown jewels of downtown Indianapolis, getting some fabulous new renovations that are going to take place next year. Here to tell us all about it, Bruce Schumacher, friend of the show. We refer to him as the head honcho over there at the Indianapolis Indians. Bruce, hello.
Hey, good morning. How are both of you?
I'm doing great. Now, head honcho is not your technical title. What is your technical title with the Indianapolis Indians?
I am chairman.
Chairman. I've always wanted to be a chairman of something.
Nice. Do you walk around listening to like Frank Sinatra?
Well, I enjoy Frank Sinatra, but I don't usually walk around listening to him.
All right, so tell us about the big upgrades that are coming to Victory Field and how it's going to sort of change the ballpark for 26, which is one of the leading destinations every year for thousands of families to downtown Indianapolis.
Well, we opened the ballpark on July 11th of 1996, and the seats are the same seats by and large that we had going on 30 years ago. So after next season, we're going to be replacing at least half of them, if not all of them. We may stagger them between two different off seasons. So we might do the lower bowl on, after the 96 season the 26 season, and the upper bowl after the 27 season. And, like I said, these seats have been there since July 11th of 96. And while we're at it, we may carve out a couple little different areas too, but that's kind of still on the drawing board.
So how long does a seat at a professional sports stadium normally last? I mean, you think about, 30 years, but if you got people sitting, 70 times a year in the seat, the amount of times they get folded in, how long does a seat normally last?
We've done really well to get 30 years out of it, frankly. I think in most venues, they probably change them more frequently. We certainly have had our share of parts replaced and this and that, but we've gotten to the point now that they're old enough that you can't find the parts anymore. So we've tried to be frugal with our money and with the CIB's money, and but 30 years I'd say is getting pretty long in the tooth for seats.
Will you continue on with the green color, and what's going to happen to the existing plaques that are on the seats?
We will continue on with the green color. We're still working on exactly what happens with the nameplates.
Bruce Schumacher, chairman of the Indianapolis Indians, is our guest. We're talking about the big renovations going on to Victory Field that'll begin next year. So one of the things I love about you guys is you always come with skin in the game. It's not just a government handout. You guys are actually paying a big part of this freight.
Yeah, we will certainly be partners in this. That's right.
So let's talk about Victory Field as a destination, as a tourist attraction. Like, how many people come through the turnstiles of Victory Field every single year, give or take?
Usually in the vicinity of 600,000 in attendance in a season, and that's across what we now play is 75 home games. Now there's other things that go on there too. We host the high school baseball finals. We host the county and city championships. We usually have a couple of college games. We have 4 teams in the Victory Field Classic. So we've got other things going on there besides Indianapolis Indians games, but certainly in the vicinity of 600,000 for just Indians games.
And I remember even several years ago, it's been maybe 10 years ago now, there were I remember announcing a high school football game at Victory Field.
Yeah, we experimented with that for a while. It was challenging to make it work given the configuration of the field, but but it was novel. I'm glad we at least tried it.
Bruce Schumacher, chairman of the Indianapolis Indians, is our guest. All right, so speaking of coming through the turnstiles, this is the public's last opportunity this weekend to visit the Indianapolis Indians and Victory Field this year.
I've been through this a long time, and every March when we get ready to get started, it seems like the season will go on till the end of time, and then you homestand by homestand, you end up at this point where we're essentially all but done. So we play tonight at 7:05, fireworks after the game tonight. Tomorrow at 6:35, fireworks after the game, and then Sunday at 1:35. This is our fan appreciation weekend, so we'll be doing lots of giveaways for fans. We've got remember Mark Summers from
Double Dare, yeah.
He's going to be at the ballpark tonight, helping us do some fun games throughout the evening. So we're looking forward to having him. And Indianapolis native, by the way, went to North Central High School, and so that'll be fun tonight. And then various giveaways. We've got scratch offs and card sets and all kinds of stuff we're doing for folks this weekend.
Bruce, you're supposed to have some great weather tonight for the fireworks, but as the season winds down, do you look back and does one thing stick out as being memorable of the season to you?
I think a couple things, and sometimes it's not always a good thing. It was so hot there for a while that was really challenging weather for people to come to ball games. But now we have transitioned into this idyllic weather for baseball. Hot days, cool nights. As you said, it looks like it's going to be fantastic these last 3 days. Pretty good team all in all. We're going to finish 4th out of 20 teams in our league. Unfortunately, it's the toughest playoff in sports. Only the top 2 teams get in out of 20. But we've played well. We've got a lot of guys go to the big leagues. And, it's been another great year at Victory Field.
Yeah, and they're playing the Iowa Cubs this weekend. Tons of Cubs fans, obviously, in Central Indiana. Great chance to see some guys who may eventually be on or have been on the Major League roster for the Iowa Cubs and to the Chicago Cubs. Bruce, we'll get you out of here with this because I was meaning to ask you the last time you were on. Who is the greatest Indianapolis Indian of all time?
Well, you'd have to say that Razor Shines is the most popular. When you get down to greatest, then you get into the question, okay, are we talking about greatest what he did in Indianapolis or greatest what he went on to do? If you talk about guys who went on to be Hall of Famers, you'd have to mention guys like Harmon Killebrew or Larry Walker or Randy Johnson. Andrew McCutcheon, who's playing for the Pirates right now, was outstanding for us, is outstanding for them. A lot of great names over the years, that's for sure. A lot of the Big Red Machine teams of the 70s had Indians players on them. So, rich legacy that way.
Yeah, but if we're to say the face of the Indians, as in the franchise itself, would it be Razor Shines?
I guess I'd go with Razor, yeah.
Yeah, very good. Hard to argue with that. All right. Hey, Bruce, man.
And real quick, he's going to be in town. We've got a fundraiser that he's going to be in town for on September 26th. So that'll be entertaining as well.
We love it. All right, Bruce, thanks for all you guys do. The Indians are an awesome partner with the city of Indianapolis, Central Indiana. You guys are the best, and enjoy the weekend, and good luck.
Thanks to both of you.
Yeah, thank you. It is Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
You ever wonder why Verizon charges twice as much as Pure Talk for the same basic service? Think it might have something to do with the fact that Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotion. That's billion with a B. Yeah, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. That's why they can offer unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a blazing fast 5G network for just $25 a month. Save an additional 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say the words micro. That's pound 250, micro.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Identifying who killed Kirk. I'm Jarrett Lewis. Here's what's trending at 11:30. Utah Governor Spencer Cox says the man who killed conservative commentator Charlie Kirk on Wednesday is a 22-year-old named Tyler Robinson, who told family members what he thought of Charlie Kirk.
In the conversation with another family member, Robinson mentioned Charlie Kirk was coming to UVU. They talked about why they didn't like him and the viewpoints that he had. The family member also stated Kirk was full of hate and spreading hate.
He says they found messages on the rifle Robinson used that said hey fascist catch. A Howard County judge is permanently removed from judicial service due to misconduct. Matthew Elkin was found to have made inappropriate comments and provided preferential treatment to certain people. Temperatures will reach 90 this weekend with a slim chance of rain, and both the Fever and Colts will be in action on Sunday. The Fever start the playoffs against the Atlanta Dream, and the Colts are hosting the Denver Broncos in a whiteout game. I'm Jarrett Lewis on The Level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Without an Advent clinic nearby, people suffering needlessly from chronic nasal congestion and sinus infections would be stuck with either Band-Aid or Sledgehammer solutions. Band-Aids are pills or nasal sprays, and they're not true solutions. Surgery is a sledgehammer, and that's what we're trying to avoid. Because most people don't need surgery for nose and sinus issues, nor do they want a 14-day recovery. Our unique Advent approach can, in 20 minutes in our office, open your blocked nose for good, with only 1 day recovery. I'm Advent founder Dr. Kandula. Outside of Advent's four walls, invasive surgery is what they'll recommend. But here you will find effective and convenient in-office solutions to help you stop the need for Band-Aids and avoid the sledgehammer.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Most insurance accepted.
Get a great deal on versatile Kubota equipment today, like the Kubota BX Series subcompact tractor, the #1 selling subcompact tractor in the U.S., Z-Series mowers, and Sidekick utility vehicles. Stop by your local Kubota dealer today. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment with 0% financing available, or save up to $4,500. Now through September 30th. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Stop by McAllister Machinery in Indianapolis to see their full line of Kubota, or visit them online at McAllisterKubota.com.
Hello, this is Denny Smith for LD Smith Plumbing. If you've ever dealt with a flooded basement, you know that it's more than just a mess. It's an insurance headache. A sump pump can save you significant trouble and expense. Right now, through the end of the month, Lance and his team are offering $850 off sump pump systems. That's much less costly than water damage repairs. Don't wait for the next heavy rain to discover you needed one. Call 317-927-7186 or visit ldsmithplumbing.com today.
Things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
The IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship is back at the racing capital of the world. This sports car racing event, September 19th through 21st, is different than anything you've seen at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Sunday the 21st, it's the TireRack.com Battle on the Bricks. And now the race runs 6 hours. The paddock is open for fans all weekend long. Infield camping opportunities make this a can't-miss weekend. Kids 15 and under are free with a paid adult. Get your tickets at IMS.com.
As our loved ones age, ensuring their safety at home becomes a top priority. This is Tina McIntosh, president of Joy's House and co-host of the Caregiver Crossing radio program. I'll be right back with some practical things you can do to reduce the possibility of a fall or injury.
Cardon & Associates provides residents with the best senior living options and personalized service. Visit cardon.us to find a community near you.
Removing tripping hazards such as rugs and floor clutter is one way to prevent or minimize falls around the home. Another is to position grab bars in the restroom and other common areas where your loved one may need some extra support. Contact your local area agency on aging to inquire about low-cost or free installation services. More tips like this are available anytime at caregivercrossingradio.org. With new weekly content created by Joy's House and distributed in partnership with Network Indiana, we're an on-air and online support group for Hoosier family caregivers. Hear conversations with experts, access a library of online education, and more at caregivercrossingradio.org.
It's JMV and fall is in full swing at Miss M's Home and Garden. Locally grown mums and pumpkins plus fall annuals and decor. State Road 135 in Bargersville. MissMsHomeandGarden.com.
Do you need furnace or heat pump service and need to find a local well-trained expert you can trust like Family Heating and Air Conditioning? We'll find that American Standard Air dealer at IndyHomeComfort.com.
Hey,
Casey, we have great news.
What's that, Rob? I like great news on a Friday.
Our old pal Southside Tom sent me a giant stack of Arby's coupons.
He did?
He did, in the mail.
That's fantastic.
Well, I think he dropped them off in person. I don't even think this is mail. I think he dropped it off at the front desk.
Mm-hmm.
So he also wrote me a fabulous note. I will read part of this.
Okay.
Because there were more than just Arby's coupons. Rob, here's some food coupons for you, including your favorite Arby's. In addition to Arby's, there are also coupons for Long John Silver's if you want to change a pace, as well as Hardee's, where the biscuits are great, and biscuits and gravies are in the coupons as well, worth using. Finally, please note the Popeyes receipts. Use these for get a 2 pieces of chicken, 2 yummy biscuits, and 2 large drinks for $4.13.
Wow. Arby's, Hardee's, Long John Silver's, and Popeyes.
It's pretty wild.
You're gonna have to try some new places.
It's like a chunk. I got to use 2 hands to carry these coupons down to my car.
How long has he been holding on to those?
I don't know, but I'm glad that he
collecting them.
I think that's what he's saying. How much it is? Anyway, so thank you to Southside Tom for always thinking of me and hoarding these Arby's coupons and sending them.
When was the last time you went to a Long John Silver's?
They used to have one in Brownsburg, and it closed.
Really?
Became a Thai. I think it's a Thai place or something like that. There used to be one on Main Street in Brownsburg, and it
I'm
shut
looking
down.
to see where there's one 2.6 miles from us right now.
I bet Avon's got one. Avon's got everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I knew that. Nobody knows Hendricks County better than me.
There's one on your way to Plainfield as well. There's a bunch downtown. I guess I didn't realize how popular Long John Silver's still was.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've had, certainly not since the one closed in Brownsburg. Oh, there's one in Speedway, too, according to Mad Duck in the YouTube chat. So anyway, thank you to Southside Tom for the coupons. It's very, very nice of you, and I will put them to good use. And coming up next, Casey, we have a very special segment. Our pals Mike and Nathan from Life Church are going to be with us. They're working with Project Rescue for that giant Hope Starts Here breakfast coming up next Thursday.
Yeah, you've been talking about that.
I love Hope Starts Here. I love Project Rescue. They do so much to stamp out human sex trafficking. Obviously, this stuff's all in the news with Epstein. It's still going on. It's very real. It's happening here in Indiana. It's happening across the country. And we're going to tell our audience when we come back about how you can participate to do your part in putting an end to human sex trafficking.
All right, they'll join us next on 93 WIBC.
Hammer and Nigel show this afternoon, the latest on the hunt for Charlie Kirk's killer. Bill O'Reilly will join us, and it's Beer Sample Friday, 93 WIBC.
Whether it's the good food or the friendly mood, you can count on Indiana to never lose when it comes to tailgating. And we want to see you at every game. That's why Hubler's got you covered with the best warranty around. So kick off the season in a Hubler quality pre-owned vehicle. Right now, you can buy with 0 down. Choose from over 2,000 cars, trucks, and SUVs. Plus, every Hubler Q certified vehicle is covered by a 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Includes a 128-point vehicle inspection and a free Carfax history report. We'll pay top dollar for your trade. Bring Hubler your old car for an immediate appraisal. 0 down delivers, and Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles.
Hubler's got you covered.
Visit drivehubler.com or any of our 13 convenient locations.
Cover me.
Select models, approved credit. Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
You ready to build your custom dream home? Check out Joyner Homes based out of Greenfield. See one of their model homes in person anytime. It is a great way for you to experience the customization and quality of a Joyner Homes custom built home. Plus, you can meet with a new home specialist to learn about their building process. Available lots if you don't already have one. Find out about floor plans and where they build. Model homes are open 7 days a week from noon to 5 and walk-ins are welcome. Find out more at joynerhomes.com.
Let's go.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
So, where's the lake?
Not here.
But it says Great Lakes Honda of Fishers.
Right. I just don't see a lake.
Well, who needs a lake when you can lease a 2025 Accord SE for $329 a month and 0 down?
That definitely won't soak our bank account.
Oh, it's the old Honda of Fishers.
Great Lakes, great people, great cars.
But no actual lake. Visit our showroom off State Road 37 today. Tax and title fees not included with approved credit through Honda Financial. In-stock new Hondas only. Not combinable with other offers. Loyalty or conquest rebates may apply. Offer ends September 30th. See dealer for details.
The deals and specials are sizzling hot. It's the Central Indiana Gun and Knife Show this Saturday and Sunday at the Hendricks County Fairgrounds in Danville. The best dealers in the region. Hundreds of tables. Just $6 for adults. Kids 12 and under get in free. Must be 18 or accompanied by an adult. Buy, sell, trade. This Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Sunday, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Hendricks County Fairgrounds in Danville. For more info, visit centralindianagunshows.com. 20 ribeyes for $35. That's 20 ribeyes for $35 at 2 locations in Indianapolis going on now. 20 ribeyes for only $35 at the corner of South Emerson and Thompson Road. Just look for the big truck. Also in the parking lot across the street from Perry Meridian 6th Grade Academy. Also on the big truck is cases of T-bones, fillets, New York strips, burgers, and a whole lot more. Big truck sale. Marinated chicken breasts too. Don't wait. Big steak sale at 2 different locations at the corner of South Emerson and Thompson Road. Also in the Hardee's parking lot on Meridian across from Perry Meridian 6th Grade Academy. 20 ribeyes for just $35. Don't wait. Everything must go. Big truck sale. That's 20 ribeyes for $35 at the corner of South Emerson and Thompson Road. Also in the Hardee's parking lot on Meridian across from Perry Meridian 6th Grade Academy. Get there before the truck is gone.
From military life to a rewarding career in IT, kickstart your new journey in a matter of months in the fields of IT and cybersecurity, including AI. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including VA benefits.
Fall is in full swing at Sundown Gardens. Locally grown mums and pumpkins, plus fall annuals and decor. 186th Street, Spring Mill Road in Westfield. It's sundown.gardens.com.
Join the Home and Garden Show live this Saturday from 9 till noon at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, 71st and Keystone for the grand opening of the Grill Palace. Check out Weber, Traeger, Big Green Egg, and more. The ultimate grilling inspiration awaits.
What once seemed black and white turns to so many shades of gray. We lose ourselves in work to do.
Casey, there's a big event coming up Thursday.
Mm-hmm. I've heard you mention it a few times.
Yes, it is an opportunity. Now, you would get invited into elite society.
You think so?
But me,
yeah,
no chance.
You got to pay to get your way in?
But no, in this case, you don't have to pay anything to get your way in, which is the point of how great it is.
Fantastic. More details, please.
You know, the Lucas Estates,
yeah,
right? Mm-hmm. High society. Sort of place where if I show up, they say, sir, you've come to the wrong address. They've got a big event coming up September the 18th at the Lucas Estates. Our friends from Project Rescue.
Yeah.
We love Project Rescue. They are partnering with Life Church, who advertises on this radio station, and they've got the Hope Starts Here breakfast, in which we're going to hear from folks who have been impacted by Project Rescue, one of the leading organizations that stamps out human sex trafficking across the country. And here's to tell us all about the big event that you can be a part of, our old pals from Life Church, Pastors Mike Melito, Nathan Peternell. Guys, hello.
Hey, how you doing?
All right, so tell us, Nathan, about... First of all, tell us about Project Rescue, because I donate to it. All the proceeds we get from the I Hate and I Love Rob Kendall t-shirts go there. It's a great organization, especially with Epstein being in the news. Project Rescue, one of the leading organizations that actually does the work to stop human sex trafficking.
Can I ask a question real quick?
You can.
Which is a better seller, the I Love Rob Kendall or the I Hate
ones?
I was wondering that.
Yeah.
I just wonder, how do you order that?
Well, we actually tell, you just go to store.hammerandnigel.com, store.hammerandnigel.com, order your favorite shirt, and then my portion of the proceeds, it all goes to Project Rescue. So it's a real selling point. You can tell people how much you hate me, and I don't get any money off of it. So it's great, yeah.
Well, I just want to thank you for being so generous towards Project Rescue. It's near and dear to
our hearts as well.
I'm a regular Rockefeller. I just give it all away.
Well, there you go. That's good. Project Rescue started over in Asia. I'm not really supposed to say the country, but it started in Asia with a man who just started burying the dead bodies of the sex slaves that were thrown into the alleys. And when he did that, it was an act of compassion that the women saw, and they said, "Why are every man who comes into this red light district, they come here to abuse us, but you're taking these dead bodies out with compassion and dignity. Why are you doing this?" And he said, because they were made in God's image, and God loves them, and that was a message that they don't hear in Hinduism, and so that began a relationship with those women until one day the women got together and said, we have, and I can't remember the exact number, I think it's around 32 kids.
39.
39?
Oh.
Thank you. Yeah, Mr. Details, and I appreciate that.
We'll get to you in a second, buddy.
Yeah, they said, we don't think we could ever escape this life, but will you take our kids? And offered 39 little girls and little boys, and then so that man made a call to an American missionary who was over there, who worked very, very closely with Mother Teresa. And
the Mother Teresa,
right? There's been an incredible partnership between Mother Teresa, which she had a ministry of helping people that were dying to die with dignity and compassion. She was in Calcutta, India, and then also there's a Assemblies of God missionary that started a hospital there, and they would work very closely. If a person's life could be saved, they'd send them to the hospital, but if they were going to die, send them over to Mother Teresa. And so it's this beautiful picture of the church working together.
Mike, let's talk a little bit about Nathan Peternell, Mike Melito, our guest from Life Church. The Hope starts here, breakfast to benefit Project Rescue at the Lucas Estates, taking place September the 18th. Tell us about this event, because as we've been talking on our announcements, not only would people like me, the untowards, get into Lucas Estates, it's totally free.
It is totally free, and we are going to ask you to consider to give towards a project that they are doing. But 100% of that is going to go directly to the project. Life Church is underwriting all the expenses for the event. This is our 4th year doing it, and we've been able to raise hundreds of thousands of dollars. We were able to fund the operational expenses of one of their newer safe homes that they opened that used to be a brothel. They purchased a building that was a brothel, and they turned it into a safe home that has vocational training, it has health care, it has school, and some housing as well. And we were able to fund that building for 2 years. And so this year we're going to be replacing a building that got taken by the government. And you'll hear more about that at the breakfast. But that's what's great about the breakfast is you're going to hear some inspiring stories. You're going to hear a story from a young woman named Ramesh, who was also rescued. And then you're going to have an opportunity to give to a very specific project, which is another thing about the breakfast is it's not just in general. We have a specific project we're trying to fund that you'll hear about at the breakfast.
Yeah, so I think that's interesting, Nathan. Talk about that, because everybody's outraged about Epstein, which they should be, and everybody doesn't feel like they're getting the true story from the government, which they should be. But the reality is, whether Epstein, whatever happened with him, this problem remains very real, and people have got to start doing something about it. And this is your opportunity, if you're upset about that, to actually put your money where your mouth is and actually help out.
I think everyone wants to believe that they would have done something about slavery if they would lived in the Civil War days. Would they have been a part of the Underground Railroad? Would they have done something? And this is, slavery today is actually larger than in any time in human history.
You hear that, Casey?
Today.
That's the Lord calling you to do something about that. I could, yeah. No. I think it was a symbol. It was a sign from above. Go ahead.
It's something where I think you want to be able to, you as a Christian, you say something to the Lord, and He says, I was in the hospital and you visited me. I was naked and you gave me something to wear. I was hungry and you fed me. I was homeless and you took me in. And then people say, well, Lord, when did we ever do that to you? And He said, when you did it unto the least of these, you did it unto me. And so there is this moment that we're all going to face, And so the question is, what are you doing about the wickedness that you see in the world? You can complain about it. Okay, congratulations. You have the gift of complaint. But what are you doing?
Yeah.
And when you finally do something, that's where actually love goes into play. Love takes a step into the darkness. I mean, that's what Jesus did for us. He comes into the darkness and he presents the light and he chases the darkness away. And so that's all you're doing. It's a Christian expression of our faith in Jesus Christ. When you're taking these kids and you're educating them, like Mike said, you're taking care of the whole person. You have to get these girls counseling. You've got to take care of them physically. A lot of them have diseases that have come from this stuff. They are broken individuals, but they also need the love of Jesus. They need education. They need job training so they never have to go back. And it might have started in Asia, but they're on 4 continents now.
That's awesome.
It's 32 countries. It's 16 countries, 32 cities, and it just keeps expanding. And a lot of times we think to ourselves, why would I want to help somebody over there when we have problems here? Yes, that's true. We need to do both and.
Yeah.
Not just say, well, we'll only help the American ones. No, let's help all of them.
It's Mike, this is what's interesting. Like we always, like as conservatives say, oh, we got to do this, or the government shouldn't do that. And so every year we do a big fundraiser for the Salvation Army. And we always tell people, like, look, if you're a person who complains about the government, you got to do something. You got to participate in the process. And this is another sort of arm of that, which is, yeah, human sex trafficking is very real. And yeah, your government is probably lying to you about what's going on. But you can either sit there and complain about it or do something about it. And this is a great opportunity.
Absolutely. And it is a problem here in the United States and here in Indiana. In fact, because of the Project Rescue Hope Starts Here breakfast, we also were able to forge a partnership with Not Today, and they address that right here. And that wouldn't have happened without this breakfast. But I want to kind of piggyback a little bit off of what Nathan was saying, because when you look at the scope of the problem, talking about it like being here in Indiana and in the United States and all over the world, the root cause of that might be different in all those places, but it's overwhelming. It's absolutely overwhelming to the point of, I don't feel like I could do anything. But I bring it home for myself when I think about my own daughter. And I think if my daughter was trapped in a lifestyle this way, and there were people that said, I'm going to do something about it, and it rescues her. Of course, there's a lot of there's a lot more work to do to rescue people. But for me, you completely changed my life. You completely changed her life. And that is happening 1,000 times over and over and over again. And so it comes down to just the individual, even though the scope is so large.
All right. Now, before we tell everybody how they can register to be a part of this, you guys know that I'm known as being very frugal. However, we love Project Rescue. So here, Casey will vouch for this. She's nodding in agreement. There is the check, the latest check from the I Hate, I Love Rob Kendall t-shirts, which you can get at store.hammerandnigel.com. All of the proceeds go to Project Rescue. And so in lieu of us having to be on air on Thursday when this breakfast is happening, the check presentation has happened. Nathan, like any good person, has put it in his pocket quickly so that you cannot get it back. And
Hey,
so,
do you have any of those shirts here today?
You need to order one. All the proceeds go to Project Rescue.
Okay, yeah, I'll get one.
See,
I
it's
won't
great.
tell you which one I'm going to get.
Perfect. No. That's Casey.
maybe both.
We'll talk about it on
depending
the
on the
side. It's
Should make it reversible.
You can tell people how much you hate me, and all the money goes to Project Rescue. So store.hammerandnigel.com if you want to get that. Guys, tell everybody again about the event and how they can register, because it's totally free to go to. There's no financial obligation. You can go to Lucas Estates.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good.
Yeah, you can go to lifechurchin.com and find more information, but you could also text the word breakfast to 317-961-8330. And if you text that word breakfast to 317-961-8330, it'll bring you directly to a page that gives you more information, and you can register for the event right there. No cost. No cost at all. You get the breakfast, and you'll be inspired, and it'll be amazing.
Prime 47 is going to serve us breakfast that morning.
It's not like McDonald's.
LC Coffee House is going to provide all the coffee.
Wait. Go back to that. It's
okay.
Prime 47.
Prime 47. Yeah.
It's not like Hardee's, right?
It's not Hardee's.
Yeah.
No. And
we're going all out, and it's free.
Yeah, and there's no requirement that you give, but don't be surprised if God moves your heart.
Yeah.
There's a difference between government when we pay our taxes. When we pay our taxes, none of us are happy about giving.
Yes.
Because it's not giving, and we kind of feel like you have to.
Yes, it's
but we know
forced.
it funds certain things that are good and
They
certain
do
things
frown
that
on.
are...
They do frown on you not giving to the government.
Oh, they do frown on that. That's right. But when you give...
And they don't give you Prime 47 in the process.
That's true. But when you give, and it's, we have a word for it. It's called charity. And that in the scriptures, the word charity is the word love, right? When you give and nobody's twisting your arm to do it, it comes from a different place in your heart. And the people of Indiana are incredibly giving, incredibly loving people, and we think this is a great way to bring our city together, bring our state together, and let's go do something great that solves the problem.
LifeChurchIN.com is where you can register. Mike, again, the phone number if people want more info.
317-961-8330. Text the word breakfast to that number.
All right, guys, thank you for all you do, and good luck on Thursday.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, Casey, I'm going to slide that microphone over to you, and you can tell everybody how fabulous they did as the audience, and tell everybody we'll see them on Monday.
They did do a good job, didn't they, this week? We made it through this week together,
Absolutely.
and we thank everyone so much for listening. Rob, thank you. Thanks, Kevin. Have a wonderful weekend. We'll catch you back here Monday. It's been Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Hey, it's Matt Baer. You've probably heard Dr. Nick Wilson on WIBC weekends. But what you may not know is that I've been going to Restructured Chiropractic for years. They've helped me tremendously. If you're waking up with the same nagging neck or back pain every day, even after stretching, icing, or trying to push through, it's time for a better plan. Dr. Wilson is now offering you a chance to sit down with his doctors for a full spine and nervous system assessment. You'll get a complete consultation, exam, posture and nerve scans, any needed x-rays, a full status report, and most importantly, a personalized natural health plan for recovery. It's normally over $250, but right now you can get the whole package for just $88. Stop managing the pain, start fixing the real problem. Text RELIEF to 317-749-0677 to claim it. 317-749-0677. Check out more at BeRestructured.com.
Of all the times to buy a new Lincoln, right now is the very best time at Tom Roush Lincoln. Get 0% APR for up to 48 months on 2025 Lincoln Corsair, Nautilus, or Aviator. Plus get a $1,000 Tom Roush Trade Assist bonus. So come get that new Lincoln from Tom Roush Lincoln, where our family's been serving yours for over 53 years.
36-month, 10,000-mile per year lease. $2,500 due at signing. No security deposit required. All offers subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details. Ends 9/30/25.
Let's go!
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Don Fisher for QC Kinetics. I was struggling with chronic knee pain and wasn't encouraged with the options of risky surgery and pain pills. QC Kinetics offered the best option for me, cutting-edge regenerative medicine. Their non-invasive treatment stimulated my body's own biologics so I could be pain-free and get back to doing what I love, playing golf. QC Kinetics has a fantastic success rate, and it's clear to see why so many Hoosiers are happy to tell their story of how they reclaim their lives with the QC Kinetics approach. Ready to live your life pain-free? Go to QCkinetics.com/Indianapolis or call 317-559-PAIN and get a no-obligation consultation. QC Kinetics uses the latest technologies, whether it's stem cell, PRP, plasma, or a number of other advanced therapies. Call QC Kinetics. It'll be the best call you will make. Get back in the game, whatever that is for you. Call 317-559-PAIN.
Reach your fitness goals in 2025 with a 20-minute once-a-week program at Exercise Inc. 5 locations now in Fishers. Visit exerciseinc.com.
Call today or go to bwindow.com and receive up to 50% off plus a free patio door.
Because at B-Window, we mean business.
Through their service, veterans have our backs. Now we should have theirs. Learn more at gotyoursix.org.
On the level, on the go. 93 WIBC Indianapolis.
Coming up.
A family member of Tyler Robinson reached out to a family friend.
He was going to be found guilty, I would imagine.
Easy for things to catch on fire. It is the funniest thing I've ever seen.
This is the WIBC News at noon.
The suspected Charlie Kirk shooter now in custody. You've got a mostly sunny sky with a clear radar, 77 degrees in downtown Indianapolis. I'm John Herrick. Here's what's trending at 12 noon.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We got him.
That's how Utah Governor Spencer Cox opened his press conference this morning to announce that a 22-year-old man named Tyler Robinson is the one who killed conservative political activist Charlie Kirk on Wednesday in Utah.
A family member of Tyler Robinson reached out to a family friend who contacted the Washington County Sheriff's Office with information that Robinson had confessed to them or implied that he had committed the incident.
And there were inscriptions on the ammunition used to fire the rifle.